839-747-1163.
Investment advisory services offered through Townsend Advisory Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor in Florida.
925foxnews.com.
A beloved fishing business is one step closer to reopening. You may remember Fish and Frank's in Charlotte County burned down after a car crash. That was what was left. The owner, Frank Hamema, originally passed on that business to his employee in the wake of the fire. But now the two are teaming up to restart the store again at a new location. It's going to be between Tamiami Trail and Beaver Lane, right behind the ABC Liquor there. Frank and Robert are going to use donations and insurance money to lease out the unit. They hope to reopen sometime in May.
I'm glad it's opening. That was such a staple in the
Yes.
community. Charlotte County is looking for your help when it comes to celebrating their centennial. Leaders are asking you to pick out your favorite Charlotte County memorabilia and photos. They'll then be displayed this May at the Charlotte Harbor Event and Conference Center. You can register for a free table to display all of your items on the Charlotte County Active Communities website.
Royal Caribbean's planning a cruise for fully vaccinated people. The Odyssey of the Seas ship will launch from Israel and make multiple stops around the Mediterranean in a 3 to 7 night voyage. Royal Caribbean will be the first company to offer fully vaccinated trips. The cruise is scheduled to set sail in May.
Coming up, the golden ticket you'll need to get a COVID-19 vaccine, where to get it, and whose signature you'll need.
Plus, rushing to file your taxes so you get a bigger stimulus check ahead at 6 o'clock. The important information you need to know this morning if you would like as much cash back as possible.
And you have your COVID-19 vaccine and are protected, but what exactly can you now do? In our next hour, the CDC answers that question with its new guidelines.
And here's a look at the line of showers making its way through the state of Florida. We can experience some of these showers later today. Weather Authority meteorologist Matt Devitt is timing out when we'll see the rain next at 6.
.925 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, Michael Crothers, owner of Pure Air Conditioning. Now that our economy has reopened and to help the community, we've decided to offer a safe $29 AC maintenance. All Pure Air employees are supplied with gloves, foot coverings, and KN95 masks for your and their protection. Find us online at getpureair.com to schedule your safe $29 AC maintenance. Join me every Saturday at 11:30 a.m. for the Get Pure Air radio show. I'll be talking about everything from air conditioning maintenance to troubleshooting tips.
What's that switch in your kitchen do?
Nothing. Flick it on, off, nothing happens.
Weird.
Now, if it would turn on the overhead fan, that would be cool. Can't get that to work either.
Frustrating.
You know, this is what's wrong with humanity. We think we got it all figured out, but we don't even know what the switch is supposed to do.
Dave.
Think we can build a spaceship that takes us to Mars when we can't even get a switch to work?
Hey, Dave.
I swear, we're never gonna leave this solar system. We'll be stuck on this planet forever until we all go extinct.
Dave, what's the best case scenario?
Best case? Well, I make a call, someone comes and connects that switch to something, like maybe that overhead fan.
That's best?
Well, sure, but...
That's Best. Best Home Services. They have 4 electricians and 4 trucks right now waiting for your call. They'd have that switch looked after in no time.
Well, I feel a bit silly now.
GetBest.com. When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So maybe...
Maybe we can go to Mars.
Dr. Svetlana Kogan here, a board-certified internal medicine concierge physician on 5th Avenue South in Naples. Many of you wonder what holistic practice is. Well, good health is like a puzzle. It depends on how you perceive yourself, your environment, what you eat, your relationships, and lifestyle. It takes time and skill for the doctor to put these pieces of the puzzle together for you and come up with solutions customized to your specific needs. Holistic doctors believe that less medication is better and use preventive approach to keep you out of harm's way. This is also a concierge practice. Every patient gets my email and cell phone for emergencies and can be seen the same day if necessary. You are seen by me personally, and we take all the time that you need. You can visit my website, customlongevity.com. That's customlongevity.com to learn about how I, Dr. Svetlana Kogan, can help you feel healthy and balanced again.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 6 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Americans targeted in Iraq again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's the second time it's happened in recent weeks. The last one prompted President Biden's first military strike. Fox's Simon Owen has details live.
Dave, the military coalition in Iraq, led by the United States, says 10 rockets were fired this morning at an airbase hosting coalition troops. It's not clear at this stage if anyone was hurt. The attack comes 5 days after the US launched airstrikes in Syria, targeting militants backed by Iran. That was in response to another barrage of rockets. Pope Francis is due to visit Iraq later this week. Dave?
Simon, now that a third COVID vaccine is being shot into Americans' arms, President Biden's optimistic.
The more people who get vaccinated, the faster we're going to overcome this virus.
He now says every American adult can get doses by the end of May.
Now's not the time to let up.
Well, Texas's governor, a Republican, disagrees.
It is now time to open Texas 100%.
Greg Abbott also lifting the state's mask mandate with coronavirus cases way down from their peak in January. The high then was 300,000 in a day. The last several days, it's been under 60,000. But California's Democratic governor calls the Texas order reckless. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, also a Democrat, facing more pushback after a third woman accused him of unwanted advances.
Now, at least 13 Democratic New York state lawmakers and the New York Working Families Party, a progressive party in the state, are calling for Cuomo's resignation. 6 New York socialist legislators are taking it a step further, calling for Cuomo's impeachment.
Fox's Brian Yennis. New York's legislature plans to strip the governor of his emergency COVID powers. He's also under scrutiny for nursing home deaths in this crisis. Authorities in California are investigating if a fiery crash yesterday involved any human smuggling. 13 of the 25 people crammed into an SUV that came from Mexico were killed when they collided with a truck. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Johnston Spinal Care, the leader in spinal decompression. Find them online at 596back.com.
Wink News traffic.
Good Wednesday morning. If you're in Fort Myers heading towards I-75 on Daniels, we're getting very busy to the west of Gateway. Also slowdowns on Fiddlesticks off and on heading north to Daniels Parkway. Slowdowns on Gladiolus west of Winkler Road, but we still look great on Colonial Boulevard. Starting from Veronica Shoemaker to 82 east and west is only a 6 to 7 minute commute. On I-75, we're still up to speed as well if you're heading to and from Charlotte and Collier County. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible for your Wednesday morning, and then a cold front is on its way for later this morning and into the afternoon. And along the front, brief rain possible. The rainfall expectations overall pretty minimal because this is going to be a fast mover. But heads up, some rain briefly possible, and then cooler, drier as we hit tonight and all the way into tomorrow morning. So that's going to take our high temperature of 79 for today to 57 into your Thursday morning, eventually becoming mostly sunny for Thursday afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80, and then a chance of rain on Saturday, but getting better by Sunday into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Drew Steele in the morning and Trey Radel in the afternoon. 2 doses of what cures liberalism. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Remember, customize and save with Liberty Mutual Insurance Company. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth and...
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, growing apart, and feeling more like roommates than loving partners, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire is the only FDA-approved sleep apnea treatment that works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. There is no mask or hose and no need to sleep in separate rooms. If you are struggling with CPAP, great sleep awaits at InspireSleep.com. That's InspireSleep.com. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation. No mask, no hose, just sleep.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
When you get a call from a top NBA player who was injured in a car crash by a drunk driver and faces a career-ending injury, you know you must bring your A game. And you also feel grateful that your reputation as the world's largest injury firm with hundreds and hundreds of verdicts and billions in recoveries for our clients has been recognized. Results matter, reputation matters, choices matter. There's only one Morgan & Morgan for the people.com. Dial pound law on your cell.
Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
The Mega Mall meat sale in Fort Myers and Port Charlotte right now for a limited time. Hurry now. 20 ribeyes for $30. EBT, credit cards, debit cards, all payments accepted. Last chance to compare 5-star steaks to Omaha Steak Box Steak deals and save on the ribeyes. 20 ribeyes for $30. Look for the big tent at Edison Mall at the Cleveland Road entrance. Also look for the big truck at the Port Charlotte Town Center in the JCPenney parking lot behind Red Lobster. Also on the big truck, crazy deals on premium steak, pork, seafood, and gourmet chicken breast. Everything must go. It's a truckload meat mania sale. Look for the big tent at the Edison Mall at the Cleveland Road entrance. Also look for the big truck at the Port Charlotte Town Center in the JCPenney parking lot behind Red Lobster. Crazy deals on Kansas City strips, fillets, bacon wrap fillets, mega ribeyes, and get 20 ribeyes for $30. The Mega Mall meat sale going on now at Edison Mall in Port Charlotte Town Center. Don't wait.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592 is the talk and text line. What? Streaming live on drewsteele.com, the website, so you can go there and watch anytime you like. drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's, and it's mobile friendly, so it's just basic. It's a basic, simple mobile setup, but it's good for your computer as well. So good for your phone, good for your smart device, good for your computer. You can watch right there. We do appreciate it. The State of the State address yesterday. Some there in the chamber up in Tallahassee, the governor with the State of the State. We're going to play some audio clips. And let me just say this before we get started. There's always room for improvement. Doesn't make a difference who you are. Nobody, I know this is going to sound crazy, but nobody's perfect. It's just not going to happen. And so there's always going to be something that you're going to look at and say, I'm not really sure about this. And so there were a couple of things there that I will address in the State of the State address. I think it's only fair. But good stuff from the governor of the great state of Florida. So we're going to get to that coming up. As you can imagine, the left in the state of Florida and across the country, even CNN, the fake news legacy media that's out there already deciding to make front page headlines. This was great. It was Drew Holden who had this on his Twitter account. He is somebody who writes at the Federalist and National Review and some other locations. And he was talking about the fact that there was a big headline about DeSantis facing backlash because, they're going into this story about how, he focused on seniors first, and that's not what the CDC said to do. And it was only because that's his base, and letting people slip through the lines and getting vaccines before anybody else. And, he's doing this as political favors. And there's this big, bold headline in CNN. And then there's this little, tiny little spot. And and he circled it because you needed like a magnifying glass. My son has this magnifying glass that he looks at so he can see bugs in the street and he can kind of zoom in on them. The old fashioned. You ever see that, Jake? You ever see a magnifying glass with those? It's a round glass and it has a stem on it that you hold like a handle. Have you ever seen anything like that before? Is that?
Yes, you can start fires with those.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That I don't recommend kids. Don't listen to him. Look, so you got to have this magnifying glass to see this little bit. And it says, opinion. Andrew Cuomo offers an apology. CNN, big bold headlines. DeSantis, bad man. This guy is bad. He was friends with Orange Man bad. So the two of them together, that's the bad man, the bad guys. And Andrew Cuomo, hey, he apologizes. Everything's fine. So we'll get to some of that coming up. And also this morning, look, a Tallahassee session has begun. The things that really, really, really do affect us here in the state of Florida. So we're going to have to go over a lot of this. A couple of things. I believe Representative Ray Rodriguez is going to join us at 8:05 because there are some things that are moving fast in Tallahassee that will affect you right here in Southwest Florida. Do you know what the Parents' Bill of Rights is? The Parents' Bill of Rights advanced in the House and the Senate. It is something that was discussed in the past, and will it get through? Will it get to the governor's desk? Will he sign it? Is this something that will happen? The talk is about what rights you do and do not have as a parent. I mean, it's almost crazy to think that we have to have something like this in Tallahassee. You're going to find out what this is in just a little while. So 8:05, Ray Rod's going to join us, Ray Rodriguez. And also we're going to get into some other things that are happening in TLC, like you've got intellectual diversity that's being discussed in Tallahassee. You have caps on THC. The medical marijuana industry is freaking out because there may be caps on THC. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Are we concerned about that? I mean, what did we know and not know when we voted for medical marijuana in the state of Florida, what it can be and what it can't be, and what exactly? Well, we're going to get into all those details coming up. Maybe you had a chance to listen to the governor here in the state of Florida in the State of the State address. Maybe you have a thought on what you heard yesterday. 239-479-5592. Would love to hear from you, and just a little bit of the intro here from the governor yesterday.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, members of the House and Senate, Supreme Court justices, and fellow citizens, I see in many parts of our country a sad state of affairs. Schools closed, businesses shuttered, and millions of lives destroyed. This calamitous reality is just the beginning of what will likely be long-term damage to children, to families, and to society. Sow the wind, and you reap the whirlwind. While so many other states kept locking people down over these many months, Florida lifted people up.
Yeah, reaping the whirlwind of what has been happening with the issues of COVID and the lockdowns, and not that anybody would focus on this, because when you have the Biden administration who's trying to convince everybody that it's because of them that there's going to be enough vaccines to go around by May, something that was due to Operation Warp Speed and the former president of the United States, who was having everything in the pipeline and had everything going as far as vaccines and getting out. And as a matter of fact, it was the administration that was talking about this back in December, when they were asked specifically about vaccines and what the timeline was going to look like. And if you go to specifically to that moment in time, November 30th, when it was the head of Operation Warp Speed asked on MSNBC about vaccines, and he said, what did he say?
What is your expectations come June for how many Americans will have had this vaccine?
100% of Americans that want the vaccine will have had the vaccine by that point in time. We will have over 300 million doses available to the American public.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that was in November of last year. And do you remember who the president was then, and who was running Operation Warp Speed, and the fact that there was going to, by June, 100%, if you want it, you got it, no problem. But no, Joe Biden's trying to convince everybody otherwise. But you do realize, as the governor is talking about the concerns that he has about the long-lasting impact of COVID and COVID policies and state policies when it comes to COVID, some of the things that we miss are issues like what I'm looking at right now. Amid COVID-19, a spike in overdose deaths fall to the back burner in Washington. A spike in overdose deaths due to the coronavirus and the lockdowns. Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that. That goes to the back burner in Washington, D.C. Nope, nothing to see here. Move along. No. And the governor here in the state understands that as well, and we're not going to move along.
Florida schools are open, and we are one of only a handful of states in which every parent has the right to send their child to school in person. All Floridians have a right to earn a living, and our citizens are employed at higher rates than those in the nation as a whole. Every job is essential. If you're working hard to earn a living, we've got your back in the state of Florida. Every business in Florida has a right to operate. Over these many months, we've stood up for small family-owned businesses and have saved thousands of them from ruin. And because of our actions, Florida is now leading the nation in the number of people submitting business formation applications. We're one of the top destinations for business relocation.
Yep. People want to be here in the state of Florida. There's no doubt that we are doing it right. We have been doing it right. He's talking about businesses and businesses being open here and when we may see 100% back to normal, what we would like to see across the country. It's up to brave governors right now to decide that they are going to move forward as well, like the governor in the state of Texas, Greg Abbott, who made that announcement yesterday. And I don't know if you heard this.
So today, I'm issuing a new executive order that rescinds most of the earlier executive orders. Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%.
So Texas is now going to open up 100% of their businesses starting next week. That was the announcement from the Texas governor. The governor of the state of California, not to be outdone, in the 2-word tweet said absolutely reckless. Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out if it's a reckless thing to do. The Texas governor doing that, a very bold move. And not only that, but another bold move as well. And it's this.
That includes any type of entity in Texas. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
So he's ending the mask mandate as well. There was a statewide mask mandate. Now, we could start with that and the question as to why he did that to begin with. It's a good thing that businesses are going to be opening up at 100% of capacity in Texas. It's a good thing that he's getting rid of the mask mandates in the state. But many people have said this before. Why did you do that to begin with? You know, the kind of emergency powers that are given to governors, people have questions about. And when you do that, there's the governor in the state of Texas who did a mask mandate and also shut down businesses. It was his decision to do all of this. He's taking that back now. The question will be twofold. Number one, how people will react to this politically because of how it started, and whether or not they're going to hold him politically accountable in some way, shape, or form. I mean, it could be a ding in re-election. It could be something where maybe Abbott was thinking about a presidential run, possibly. Hasn't even been a blip on the radar as far as a choice across the country of someone who would run. But then the second part is, what happens if you've got that? You know how the circular chart works. You ever heard of the circular chart when it comes to COVID? How you get rid of certain rules, you drop certain things, mask mandates, the businesses being open 100%, and then all of a sudden the economy starts to come back, things are starting to get back to normal, and then all of a sudden there's this little blip on the map. Hold on a second, there's a couple of numbers that are going up in cases. Wait a minute, and then next thing you know it's like, whoa, we got to pull back, and then what does the governor do at that point? It's going to take a couple of brave individuals that are going to be willing to stop doing this, stop the back and forth. Are we going to get to, and many people have said, and there have been some studies that suggested, it was Zero Hedge last week, it talked about, zerohedge.com, the website, was talking about a study that suggested that 7 states right now in the country are about or at very close, number-wise, to herd immunity in those states. And whether or not the time has come to stop this, to understand herd immunity is what it's going to take. And then the true and false and the fake news, if you will, of what is the virus and isn't the virus. And what do I mean by that? I'm not talking about, and all you lefties out there who listen to this program and all the people who have a problem with me, and I see your emails and I get it. You're going to anyway. That it doesn't mean that we are insensitive here on the program, or anybody who's talking about the fact that we want to know and we want specific answers, science and data when it comes to COVID, what it is and is not, doesn't mean that we are not sensitive to the deaths that have taken place in the state and across the country. Don't do that. Don't do that. I mean, you can if you want, but it's not going to affect how we discuss this here on the program. And what am I talking about? I didn't bring this up the other day, and I should have, because I had it in front of me. It was 2 days ago when our Congressman Byron Donalds was addressing the media before the stimulus vote. And we'll talk to him tomorrow. He joins us at 8:05 each and every Thursday. So we'll talk to him specifically about this. But if you remember, it was our Congressman, Byron Donalds, who was standing in front of the media and said something that, ask yourself how many other congressmen and how many other congressmen in the past from Southwest Florida would have said this very thing about masks, about COVID, about the facts, what is or isn't fake news. Did you hear this?
Good evening. Byron Donalds, member of Congress from the great state of Florida, Congressional District 19. And for our friends in the media, I do want to apologize. I actually left my mask in my office. Why do I bring that up? Because it's important that in our capital, we start talking about the things that are real and not the things that are fake. You see, I already had COVID-19. The attending physician in this very capital gave me the antibody test last week. I still have it. I'm not spreading anything. I forgot my mask. The reality is, if you have antibodies, you're actually okay. The other reality is that the President of the United States, the Vice President of the United States, the Speaker of the House have all been inoculated. They have the vaccine, but they still wear their mask anyway. The reason they do this is because Washington is accustomed to fan bases. Washington is accustomed to doing fake things that don't matter.
Woo! Washington is accustomed to doing fake things that don't matter, like being inoculated, the president, vice president, speaker of the House, and still wearing a mask. If we're vaccinated, we're good, right? We don't have to do this, do we? Unless we do, then we're trying to figure out what we're trying to accomplish here. If the vaccine doesn't mean what we think it means. Okay, and the fact that he has antibodies, we've been told about that, right? You get the vid, you have antibodies, which means you have it in your system, but you're not spreading it. Does he need to wear a mask? What are we doing here? What is the story? And how many people do you know would have brought that up as a congressman and would have been so bold to question that part? There's another part to it that's very important that he brought up about the stimulus that we're going to talk about this morning as well. And we'll bring it up tomorrow as well when he's on the program. But again, I get back to what the governor was saying in the State of the State address and some of the things that are going to have to happen with governors across the country if we're going to get this country back to normal. I don't care what the president of the United States says when he's making a decision as to when things will be back to normal. He said that yesterday. We're going to play that audio. And let's just put it this way. His timeline is not my timeline. I don't think it's your timeline. And I don't think it's Congressman Donald's timeline either. Does Washington decide to follow the science and the data? Are they truly doing that? We're really going to find out where the rubber hits the road when it comes to COVID and how far we can go to get to some sense of quote unquote normalcy. With Texas and 100% of businesses open and no more mask mandates. By the way, breaking news. Hold on a second. Breaking news.
Breaking news.
A bombshell. Here you go. Breaking news, everybody, here in Southwest Florida as well. Just because there's no mask mandate doesn't mean you don't have to wear a mask if you don't want to. You can wear one. Nobody is saying don't wear one. What we're saying is we don't want a mandate from the government telling us we have to wear one. You're a business and you want people to wear a mask in your business, that's fine. If you're walking around and if you're in a... How many times have you seen this, Jake? How many times have you seen somebody driving in a car, in a convertible, by themselves, wearing a mask? Have you ever seen that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead. All right. 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. DrewSteele.com is the website if you want to watch. You could do that right now. We do appreciate it. We'll have traffic and weather coming up as well. And at 7:35, Dane Eagle's going to join us as well. We're going to talk about maybe some revisions in unemployment here in the state of Florida. What does that mean? What am I talking about? You'll find out coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
This Fox News Business Report is presented by Sargent's Integrated Pest Solutions Incorporated, providing organic and botanical pest control solutions since 2011.
I'm Maria Bartiromo, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Twitter announces it's going after people who post misinformation about COVID-19 vaccines. The company says it will slap a label on any such post and suspend users who violate the policy 5 times. The pandemic's been a boon to Zoom, and the video conferencing company says it expects revenue to soar more than 40% this year, even as more Americans get vaccinated. The Boy Scouts of America filed a plan yesterday that offers a settlement to the tens of thousands of sex abuse victims that it hopes will allow it to exit Chapter 11 bankruptcy. And stocks surged yesterday as investor fears about possible higher interest rates.
All right, this was fast. Hey, good morning, everybody. I gotta sit down. Good morning. Gosh, I can't believe how much weight I'm gaining. It's just insane. I gotta do something about this. All right. Good morning, everybody who's watching on drewsteele.com on the website or Facebook or wherever you are. I don't know where you are watching, but I do appreciate it. I just had to respond because Jake was giving me the same hassle. What's going on here? Doug says, "Morning, Drew. Sorry, but the shirt has to go." Why? I'm self-conscious about this shirt. And the reason why is because, and hi, Tiffany. Hi, good to see you this morning. Hi, Jessica. Help me out with this. What am I missing? So, sorry. I mean, this is the show within the show, but okay, you're here, so you can answer this. Doug says the shirt has to go. Now, is it because I'm not a short sleeve shirt, like you're not used to seeing the short sleeve shirt? Is it because this shirt's out of style, or what is it? Only because, or it's not flattering? And the only reason why I'm asking is because my wife said the same thing yesterday. She's like, why are you pulling that shirt out? Because I didn't have anything else, and I'm not a fan of short sleeve button downs. And Jake made fun of me too. Yes, you did. Come in here. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. So Jake made fun of me with my shirt.
I never made fun of you. All I said.
All right, hold on. Tell them.
Listen. I came in and he didn't have sleeves on, and it threw me off. I've never seen his arms.
Okay, well, you could see why you never see my arms, because I got chicken arms.
Yeah, well, me too. That's why I wear sleeves
and
a hat, because my hair's longer.
So is it the shirt, or so? No, it's not the shirt.
It's fine.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with
so
the
like
shirt.
if I said to you,
if it had long sleeves, I'd be like, yeah.
All right. So if I said to you,
what?
I'm not gonna wear this shirt anymore. Do you want it? Would you take the shirt?
No, I'm not gonna.
You wouldn't take the shirt. You wouldn't lie. You wouldn't take the shirt.
No, probably not. I mean,
this was an expensive shirt too, man. It was a lot of money.
Take it back.
I should. It's too late, you know. I can't take it back.
I would.
All right. Shirt's great if you like buttons. I don't know what that means. Thank you, Tiffany. Okay. You don't have to say you love it. If it's okay, that's fine. Good morning, Wayne. Good morning. Okay, so Gator Lynn likes the shirt, likes the watch combo, likes the ring. This is my Vincero watch. It's pretty sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you. Donna likes the shirt. Just another Wednesday. Hold on, there's Donna. Donna said she likes the shirt. Thank you, Donna. All right. Laura says I look fine. Okay. I'm just checking. It's just, I admit it, it's weird. Wait, you had a, okay. Color's not flattering. What color is flattering? I don't know. All right. Go feed the, somebody just said on the feed said, go feed the chickens and cows now. What is that? Is it like ding 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 ding? Am I like deliverance now? Am I in deliverance? Is that what's going on? It's like, that's what this looks like? Does it look like a cowboy shirt? What is it?
Who this person is feeding you with information, but like when I was walking away and I saw the X's on your pockets, I thought a barn. Like a barn? Like a barn house? So like I get to kind of, I'm just going to do my job.
Wow. Y'all are like Colson said the shirt only works with jorts. What's a jort? Why are you laughing? I don't even know what a jort is. Wait, what is it?
Jeans that were cut into shorts.
Oh, that is so rude. That is so rude. Hold on. It gets better. You ready? Wait, let me play some more here. It gets better. Wow, wow. Hold on. Kate said Wyatt Earp would take the shirt. That's funny. No, Wyatt Earp, cowboy. Think cowboy. It looks like a cowboy shirt? Holy cow. Terry said hold on. Terry said a Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, that kind of thing. Like a cowboy. Oh, man. Doug said, sorry, but your wife was so right. Don't wear the shirt. That's funny. Oh, man. Lady Catherine says the shirt looks like Bernie, Vermont. Oh my gosh. Now I gotta burn it. Now I gotta burn it. Wow.
What do you feel about like doing a bonfire where we throw all the mattresses in the fire?
F. Webb said get a 10-gallon hat. That is terrible. All right. It's getting worse. I mean, that's the sad thing. Like, look at this. This guy, Mark, says, are you going for Yellowstone? What are you people talking about? Yellowstone? It's, oh, come on. Yeah, all right. Never mind. Chicken fried early Wednesday. Wayne says it's a Leave It to Beaver shirt. It's getting, I told you, it's getting worse. It's getting worse.
I used to get called that.
Hey, Wayne, what's the shirt you're wearing in your little,
yeah, what are you wearing,
what's your
Wayne?
thumbnail picture, Wayne? What's that shirt, Wayne? Talk about my Leave It to Beaver shirt. What's that, Wayne? My wife just texted me and said, I guess we're burning that shirt later. A bolo tie? What is wrong with you, people? James says your boy's gonna start wearing a cowboy hat now. Come on, come on! Oh man. This is so rude. I can't believe this is happening. Never mind. Alright. Yeah, come on, Wayne. Where's your shirt? What is that shirt, Wayne? It looks like you got flamingos on your shirt. What's that, Wayne? Come on, Wayne. I don't really care. It's fine. Joseph says the shirt's fine. Alright. I don't know. It is what it is. Alright. I gotta go talk to my wife. Okay, we'll see you in a bit.
Time slot because we love Rush Limbaugh. My father and I used to talk about Rush every day. It gave us some commonality, and I'll cherish those moments forever. We pray for Rush's wife, Catherine, and his brother and family, and we hope that God's healing hands finds them. And until we meet again, Maha Rushi, mega dittos from all of the Kobes at Kobe Cooling. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Is foot pain making your life miserable? The Good Feet Store specializes in foot pain relief. Call 552-FEET or visit us at the Good Feet Store in Naples or our newest location in Fort Myers. Or stop in for a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet Store.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. New South is the Florida window factory. Our windows are made in Florida for Florida homes by Florida workers because we understand Florida weather. With New South Windows, you don't have to sacrifice energy efficiency for storm protection. Our Energy Star rated windows and doors are made with impact and non-impact options, giving you the best of both worlds. New South Window, home of your ultimate Florida window.
Going on now. For every 2 windows you buy, get the third free. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
The Mega Mall meat sale in Fort Myers and Port Charlotte right now for a limited time. Hurry now. 20 20 ribeyes for $30. EBT, credit cards, debit cards, all payments accepted. Last chance to compare 5-star steaks to Omaha Steak Box Steak deals and save on the ribeyes. 20 ribeyes for $30. Look for the big tent at Edison Mall at the Cleveland Road entrance. Also look for the big truck at the Port Charlotte Town Center in the JCPenney parking lot behind Red Lobster. Also on the big truck, crazy deals on premium steak, pork, seafood, and gourmet chicken breast. Everything must go. It's a truckload meat mania sale. Look for the big tent at the Edison Mall at the Cleveland Road entrance. Also look for the big truck at the Port Charlotte Town Center in the JCPenney parking lot behind Red Lobster. Crazy deals on Kansas City strips, fillets, bacon wrap fillets, mega ribeyes, and get 20 ribeyes for $30. The Mega Mall meat sale going on now at Edison Mall in Port Charlotte Town Center. Don't wait.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
In Southwest Florida, yeah, I'm talking to you. We play, we lay, we sweat, we net, we swim, we gym, we play some more. Then this happens. Were you prepared? From up-to-the-minute storm tracking to long-term forecasting, the Wink Weather Authority always has you covered. Because if you want to head out, it's always a matter of weather or not. Trust Wink News, the Weather Authority.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, he ignited my career 37 years ago. Stephen King. Girls would never start fires, or would they? Let's get scared. And tell me your secret star, Amy Brenneman. Plus, TikTok food trends that you can try tonight. If it tastes good, I'll eat it. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News. Now, back to Daybreak with Drew Steele.
They're able to positively identify that person as a suspect. And also we're able to place her at the scene with Cheeto residue all on her teeth and face. That Cheetos bag and water bottle were not theirs, and they think she probably dropped it trying to get out the window. I think we still would have got her without the Cheetos, but the Cheetos is what nailed the deal.
You're in trouble. Cheetos nabbed the deal. You're in trouble. Jake's in trouble. Jake's, look at you. Look at you. If you're watching it through Steele.com. At the website, he's mad. Why? Because a woman tried to break into a house in Oklahoma last week. She dropped an empty bag of Cheetos, and the cops tied her to the burglary because she had Cheeto dust in her teeth when they found her, and all over the place, the Cheetos made the bust.
You gotta cover your tracks, man.
Don't eat Cheetos when you're trying to rob a house.
I mean,
it should be obvious.
I mean, has anyone ever eaten Cheetos with their fingers?
See, that
was a weird question.
Yeah, but you know what's funny about that? One thing that is true in that story is that you can't eat, it's impossible to eat Cheetos and to not leave residue somewhere. Your teeth, your fingers, your face, it's impossible. So it could be a crime-fighting tool. A crime-fighting tool. Think about it. What you do is, if you're trying to set up a sting on somebody...
Just sprinkle Cheeto
No,
dust.
you don't have to sprinkle it. Just offer it to them. Just here, take some Cheetos out of the bag, buddy. Want some Cheetos?
Hey, come here.
Right. Yes, that's what you do. It's it's an easy way to get to bust somebody in a sting. You know, you befriend them. You kind of hang... Now, if you're a police officer, maybe you can help me out with this. If this would be... Is this viable? 239-479-5592. It's not. But you say, you know, you're on some kind of sting. They don't know who you are. It's like one of those movies. What are those? You ever see those movies where, you know, somebody's doing an undercover and they're trying to infiltrate into a group, and they can call you. They'll call you Cheeto because you're always eating Cheetos.
I like that.
Right. See, so they know you as Cheeto guy.
00 Cheeto.
Right. 00 Cheeto. Yes, 00 Cheeto. And then what you do? And then what you do is you're following along. And then what you do is you get in, you infiltrate the mob, the bad guys. And you got a bag of Cheetos and you're constantly giving people a bag of Cheetos. And then you're able to follow them into crimes dusted with Cheetos.
Orange man bad.
You didn't have to do that. 239-479-5592. You completely ruin the whole thing. That's it. Moving on. Brought this whole thing down. Almost like my shirt that people are mocking. I spent the whole break.
Looks like you're hunting a wabbit.
I spent the whole break. If you're not watching at drewsteele.com, you're missing it. I spent the whole break because I talked to everyone. We talk during the break at drewsteele.com at the website. And if you're watching, you get to see it all taking place. And I'm absolutely getting crushed by people about the shirt that I'm wearing. My wife said, don't wear that shirt. And I said, I don't have anything really clean. I got nothing to wear. And she said, don't wear that shirt. Wear the shirt. And I'm getting crushed. It's awful. All right, let's talk about some of what the governor said, State of the State address yesterday. And remember something. It's okay. I promise you, it's okay if there are certain things, certain issues about politicians that you like, that you disagree. It's not about disagreeing. It's about being disagreeable. Is that right? It's about how you approach it. Yesterday on this program, we had Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart, and just before the end of the interview, he was telling us all that we should stop going after Republicans and we should go after Democrats. That's where the focus should be. We should be going after them specifically, and we should leave Republicans alone. And I respectfully disagreed and said, no, the ones that have records and are voting the way that we don't want them to, we should primary them. And we can do both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time. We can call out rhinos. We can call out Republicans, that people that have an R after their name that we know are not voting our conservative values, and we have a problem with it. And you can go right down the line. They have a record. And we would primary them with people who would be doing what we have elected them to do. I don't have any problem calling them out. And at the same time, I can call out Democrats. We could do that. We could walk and chew gum at the same time. And with the governor, we can love the job that he is doing here in the state. We can respect some of the things that he did against the guidance of people outside of the state who, the people who really know what's going on, the people in Congress, the president of the United States who knows exactly what is happening. We choose truth over facts. Okay, maybe he doesn't really know what's going on. I don't even know if he knows what day it is, but that's beside the point. That, the people in Washington, D.C., those bureaucrats telling us in the state of Florida what we should be doing, the CDC who's telling us that, you can't vaccinate seniors first. Are you suggesting that seniors in the state of Florida and across the country are the most vulnerable age group, 65 and up, when it comes to COVID, and they should get a vaccine first? Yes, that's exactly what we're suggesting, and it's your numbers that prove it. So why would you say anything different? And the governor went against some of the CDC directives, what they would have liked to have us do in the state. So when the governor says something that I question, it's fine. And you're allowed to do it as well. You just question it. He's talking about the environment. Talking about the environment here in the state of Florida is very important. We all know the value of the state and our environment.
Must also continue to protect our natural resources and invest in improvements in water quality. I ask that you continue to fund the key projects, such as the EAA Reservoir in the south, as well as projects in the northern Everglades that will impact our state for generations to come, that also reaffirm our commitment to Everglades restoration and access to safe, clean water for our communities.
We certainly want to do that. We certainly care about the Everglades. We care about making sure that we don't have the blackish brown water and the continuation of that with Lake O and what we see across the Caloosahatchee, the St. Lucie River on the other coast having the same issue. We know, and we've been through the details, and we know the kind of money that's spent on Everglades restoration and the EAA and issues that are happening north of the lake that some people don't like to talk about. And again, it's walking and chewing gum at the same time. You can do both. It's okay to look at what's happening here with our environment And then the governor said something that I'm not sure I'm on board with, but I would love your thoughts on this, 239-479-5592, because he wants to do something that, see if I can find it. There it is, and it's, oh goodness. I just want to make sure I'm looking at the State of the State address and the transcript, and I want to make sure I get to the right spot. That's okay. I'll just play the audio so you can hear what it is. The governor was talking about this.
I'm also proposing the creation of the Resilient Florida program under the Department of Environmental Protection. Through this initiative, Florida will invest $1 billion into projects that will help our communities adapt to the threats posed by flooding from intensified storms and from sea level rise.
Stop. Proposing the creation of the Resilient Florida program under the Department of Environmental Protection. This initiative, Florida will invest $1 billion with a B, $1 billion into projects that help our communities adapt to the threats posed by flooding from intensified storms. So, okay, we're going to spend money on, you have these intensified storms that come in. We know some of the storms that happen during the summertime. Sometimes in the summer, you're thinking, wow, is this a hurricane that's rolling through here? The kind of rain and the amount of storm damage that we see. Sure, to protect our communities and adapting to these intensified storms. But then he says, and sea level rise. Intensified storms and sea level rise. Now, I'm just asking the question, and again, this is not taking away anything from the great work that the governor has done here in the state of Florida, but I am asking a serious question. It's okay to question. It's okay to question. When I hear words like threats posed by flooding from intensified storms and sea level rise, my bell goes off. My meter goes off. Ding, ding, ding. Well, what do you think of? 239-479-5592. Please tell me if you think I am completely off base. I am open. I am an open book. Look at my shirt that I'm wearing today at TrueSteel.com. I'm an open book. If you listen to the conversation on the break, you understand I'm an open book. Am I missing something? Because when I hear threats posed by flooding from intensified storms and sea level rise in one sentence, I am concerned that sure sounds like the climate change crowd, the man-made climate change crowd. And the only way that we can save the day and save us from man-made climate change is to spend $1 billion to adapt to sea level rise. How are we going to adapt here in the States by spending $1 billion? What does that mean? He said, after I'm encouraged by similar proposals from the legislature to address this important issue for our communities, and I look forward to signing into law a program that'll make a difference. Similar proposals from the legislature? Like what? Am I allowed to ask? And again, maybe I'm missing something. So that caught my attention, and maybe I'm missing something. But I think the governor had a great State of the State address yesterday. We'll dig into some more issues that he brought up, including big tech. And of course, anytime the governor goes after big tech and election integrity, the left in this country, in this state, are going to make it sound as if that he is out to, he's going to change election laws. He's going to flip everything on its head to make it so that you will not be able to vote again in upcoming elections as a Democrat and get a fair shake. No. It's quite the opposite. So 239-479-5592. And okay, so Walrus has a thought on this. I can go to Walrus in Fort Myers and we'll see. Maybe I'm off base. Walrus, I appreciate your thoughts on this, my friend. So am I missing something here? What am I missing?
I don't think you're missing anything. And what I'm thinking is that this is a plan to start research for giving human beings gills so that we can live in our great state when the sea level rises. What do you think?
I have okay. I hear you laughing, so I know you're joking, but I'm kind of worried about you, Walrus. I'm not gonna lie. What? Why don't you? Okay, now instead of joking and cracking yourself up, which you're doing a good job of, help me out. What do you really mean? What do you think about what he said?
No, really, this is definitely, a swerve into the global warming fraud that's being pushed on us. But the thing is, it's going to be an extra $1 billion.
That's a lot of money. But again, when politicians, and look, I don't care if it's the governor of the state, I don't care if it's the former president, current president, I don't care who it is. When you start tossing around numbers and money, it's my money, it's your money, it's our tax dollars, it's in the state and even locally. This is our money we're talking about, that we are entrusting bureaucrats, people that we elect, to be good stewards of our dollars. And so I'm always concerned when I hear things like, intensified storms and sea level rise and the threats that are posed by it. To me, that's the language of climate change activists who believe that it's man-made and we have to do something about it, like throw money at it, give money to individuals to do what? Again, we're just one state.
Yes, true. I completely agree with that. But when have we ever gotten good stewards for our money?
Yeah, well, that doesn't. But Walrus, it doesn't mean we shouldn't keep demanding it. It doesn't mean that we stop and we give up when people are not, or like this is just business as usual. From me. And look, thanks for the call, Walrus. I always appreciate it. There in Fort Myers, 239-479-5592. Yeah. Just because politicians aren't doesn't mean that they shouldn't be. And I don't accept business as usual. I accept fiscal responsibility, and I expect that they're going to be good stewards. And if I have a question about it, it's okay. Look, all we have to do is get clarification. And I know it's a state of the state, and I understand that there are groups that you want to speak to and say, hey, I didn't forget about you. But man, $1 billion in the state is a whole lot of money. That's a whole lot of money, especially when you consider that he vetoed $1 billion in the budget. I just have questions. And that's it. All right, quickly. Can I take this call? Jake, you sure? We got time? Yes or no? Yeah? Okay. This is Farron? Farron in Naples?
Yep.
Hi. What's on your mind, Farron?
Yeah, you were talking about what you thought, what the difference was, or what you saw in it. I think it's, he's talking about flooding, or when it rains, when you flood, and it floods the roads, so you need to address that. The sea level rise are things like what happened in Bonita, so that when you have the hurricanes and you have that rise, because those canals are connected to the sea, so the water's coming up, being able to protect the communities from getting flooded.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He could have just said, flooding from intense storms. He didn't have to say intensified storms. He could have said just intense storms, and he never had to mention anything about sea level rise. Especially if we're talking Bonita, you're talking inland. You're not even talking about being near the sea. So that's
true,
why.
But it still rises and pushes the water up, and you still need to.
Well, you're talking about. He could have said the rising tide. You're talking about tidal. You're talking about tidal surges. He's not talking about tidal surge because he could have said tidal surge. He didn't, and so that's.
Well, you also kill two birds with one stone, right? You get when you say it one way, meaning when you're actually talking about something else, you're kind of pacifying others as well.
Yeah, but I would rather him not pacify people by telling them that he's planning on spending $1 billion of my money and your money and our money to pacify people who believe that there's sea level rise going on because I drive a fossil fuel vehicle here to the station. I gotta plug in more. That's what it is. I need a golf cart. Yeah. I need a road ready golf cart. Do we have any of those? Can we find that? Farron, thanks for the call there in Naples. Jay, can you find out? Is there such thing? Do we have the ability to? I need a. What's the word? Road ready, not road ready. What's the word? There are some golf carts. There's some electric vehicles that are golf carts that are street legal. I need a street legal golf cart. That's it.
Yeah, I don't think they're street legal anywhere.
Yeah, preferably one that looks like a Lamborghini. Nice. All right, 239-479-5592. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News.
Rush Limbaugh. Sun, California is about to launch an experiment, a no-strings guaranteed basic income of $500 a month for its people to eliminate poverty, supposedly. Now, they're going to start with a select group of residents early next year. Michael Tubbs, Stockton's 27-year-old mayor, says that those who get the free money are going to be tracked and studied. He hopes that they'll collect enough data in a few years to figure out the income floor that people deserve. The money is not coming from taxpayers yet. Yeah, the initial handout is from a group calling itself the Economic Security Project. Facebook co-founder Chris Hughes also co-founded this harebrained scheme. Now, he hopes taxpayers will eventually pay $500 a month to every American earning under $50,000 a year so that they can have income security. Now, as you'd predict, a bunch of Stockton residents are drooling at the idea to get free money. They're already sending letters and emails to the young mayor begging to make the list. Now, this is a special kind of stupid. Economic ignorance on steroids. It's not income security. It's job security for liberals playing Santa Claus with other people's money.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/news. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
You need a fast, reliable network. So get fast, reliable internet from Comcast Business and add advanced security with Comcast Business Security Edge. They have 24/7 support, it's fast internet, and advanced security made simple. Bounce forward with Comcast Business.
With the Diamond District, you get the best of both worlds. Jason and Todd are wholesale diamond brokers selling to the public and jewelry stores across the country at wholesale prices. The Diamond District is also a retail store that you can visit every day and see the largest selection of GIA and Forevermark loose certified diamonds.
Heard the good news about COVID-19 vaccines? They're here, but you can do more than wait for your turn. Here's how. Stay at least 6 feet away from folks you don't live with. And it's risky to be indoors with them too. And masks? Well, they protect both the person wearing them and the folks around them. Wear a mask, watch your distance, and make a big difference now.
Learn more about vaccines at cdc.gov/coronavirus. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
The new administration has big plans for health care. Changes are coming that could limit your choices and make your health insurance premiums even higher. Tim Cooper at Health Plan Network recently saved a family of 4 here in the Fort Myers area $600 per month. Act now. Protect yourself and your family with a superior health plan that cannot be canceled. This is a nationwide PPO plan which allows you to pick your doctors and hospitals. Start saving 30 to 60% now. If you are on Obamacare, not insured, or on COBRA, you can look into a private health plan managed by you, not the government. Call Tim Cooper, an expert with 24 years experience at 239-368-6712. That's 239-368-6712. Online at healthplannetwork.net. That's healthplannetwork.net.
So much is happening, but who can you trust?
You need to check out Newsmax TV, the fastest-growing news channel in America. Watch it on all major cable systems and see shows with Sean Spicer, Greg Kelly, Lindsey Keith, Stinchfield, and Rob Schmidt. They're giving you the real story on Biden and Pelosi. So download the free Newsmax app on your smartphone now or watch Newsmax on Roku, YouTube, Pluto, Zumo, and more. 30 million Americans watch Newsmax TV. So should you.
92.5 WFSX is Darrow. It's 7 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
Moving up the timeline. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
We're now on track to have enough vaccine supply for every adult in America by the end of May.
Now that a third version of the vaccine is being given, but President Biden urges us not to let our guards down and keep wearing masks.
People's lives are at stake.
But in Mississippi and Texas, Republican governors ended mask mandates and lifted restrictions. Governor Greg Abbott in Texas says things have been getting better.
It is clear from the recoveries, from the vaccinations, from the reduced hospitalizations.
California's Democratic governor called him reckless. The Senate will today consider that COVID financial aid bill House Democrats already passed.
The Senate will start debating the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. Without the $15 minimum wage Democrats wanted, Majority Leader Chuck Schumer is pushing for the biggest, boldest bill Democrats can pass.
We have to crush the virus. We have to get our economy back on track. We have to get Americans back to work.
Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says the package is too big.
This is not a year ago. We're making extraordinary progress.
Moderate Democrats are proposing lowering expanded unemployment benefits from an extra $400 a week to $300. Rachel Sutherland, Fox News.
The Senate will hold another hearing today into the deadly Capitol attack as Capitol Police increase staffing, concerned about another possible one tomorrow with new intelligence.
The information warning of a militia plot to breach the Capitol. Two sources tell Fox 5 in D.C. that an intel bulletin specifically mentions the group the Three Percenters. Members of that group are accused in the Capitol riot back in January.
Fox's Jill Nato. American forces targeted again in Iraq. 10 rockets fired into a base housing U.S. troops. We do not have any casualty reports there. America's listening to Fox News.
This update is presented by Lee Auto Group. Find your perfect vehicle at lee-cars.com.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slammed on the Daniels extension, especially heading west just near Tree Line. Also delays building in Lehigh Acres on 23rd heading west to Gunnery Road. 26 has been busy as well heading west of Gunnery. If you're heading westbound, best options right now, Leonard or State Road 82. Eastbound delays beginning on Lee Boulevard to the east of Westgate. Also, commuters in Alva, still pretty good to go right now, heading on a Broadway Street to Palm Beach Boulevard. The Trip to the Minute traffic, I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible for your Wednesday morning, and then a cold front is on its way for later this morning and into the afternoon. And along the front, brief rain possible. The rainfall expectations overall pretty minimal because this is going to be a fast mover. But heads up, some rain briefly possible, and then cooler, drier as we hit tonight and all the way into tomorrow morning. So that's going to take our high temperature of 79 for today to 57 into your Thursday morning, eventually becoming mostly sunny for Thursday afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80, and then a chance of rain on Saturday, but getting better by Sunday into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
More delightful than driving a convertible Bentley while wearing mink underpants. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
Hi, I'm Kyle Lee with Lee Auto Group. We sell more low-mileage cars and trucks than anyone in Southwest Florida because we have more. Over 300 vehicles in stock with locations in Fort Myers and Tampa. See for yourself at lee-cars.com.
Lee Auto Group is looking for quality pre-owned vehicles. Let them make your buying or selling experience easy and safe. Contact Lee Auto Group at 239-288-7374 or visit lee-cars.com.
Don't forget the dash.
In Southwest Florida, yeah, I'm talking to you. We play, we lay, we sweat, we net, we swim, we gym, we play some more. Then this happens. Were you prepared? From up-to-the-minute storm tracking to long-term forecasting, The Wink Weather Authority always has you covered. Because if you want to head out, it's always a matter of weather or not. Trust Wink News, the Weather Authority.
Next, Rachel.
Oh my gosh, did I work so hard on this?
Total Request Pie.
She wants a recipe for Utica pie.
Doughy, tomatoey goodness you can call sheet pan pizza.
Man, it smells good.
That.
Spice doesn't have to always mean heat.
Chicken and rice and everything spice with the Great British Bake Off winner Nadia Hussein.
Oh, beautiful. Nobody ever gives me a ride with clothes at home.
Next, Rachel.
Rachel Ray, this morning at 11 on WXCW.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dan Martineau here, owner of D.R. Martineau Roofing of Southwest Florida. I've been repairing and replacing roofs for 27 years. We operate with integrity, knowledge, and service. Google DRM Roofing or call 239-332-1441.
License number CCC 1326954.
For professional roofing, the name you need to know is D.R. Martineau.
Dial star 2020. Friends, I care.
Trey Radel, your host of The Drive here. I've told you about Dr. France and his team about how they've changed my life with my often terrible eyes. Well, they can change yours. I want to talk to you today, though, about cataract surgery. You know, for years it was very basic on what you did, but now technology has transformed over the years so much that it's not just about having your cataracts removed, it is about your lifestyle. Whether you need vision correction for near, far, and in-between distances, or maybe night driving's your issue, or you need extended depth of focus, Dr. France and his team are ready to help. Don't let cataracts hold you back in 2021. Call France Eye Care today to schedule your screening. Star 2020 from your cell phone or dial 239-418-0999.
Friends, I care.
We are back, our first Friday remote at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. Look forward to seeing you there. You know the store is amazing. Everything in the store is fresh, made from scratch. Southwest Florida's largest selection of fresh produce, sushi and pasta, pizza, and so much more. 4 different bars, live entertainment, 7 nights a week. I can go on and on, but find out for yourself. Join us 6 to 9 a.m. on Friday, our first Friday live remote broadcast. Look forward to seeing you there at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, located at the corner of Livingston Road and Immokalee in North Naples this Friday.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I'm an interior designer and I trust Rock Solid.
If you're looking for just the right countertops for your home, the choice is simple. Rock Solid.
I'm a contractor and I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
I trust Rock Solid.
See why homeowners and contractors choose Rock Solid for the finest countertops. Now with our newly expanded showroom, making your home improvement experience even better.
Rock Solid in the Pink Building, 2240 JNC Boulevard, Naples. Rock Solid. We don't stop at just countertops.
Why would someone take a chance on purchasing a frameless shower door from a big box store or an online discounter of an obscure brand, and then try and find a licensed, qualified installer to put it in, when you can deal directly with a local, family-owned business that consults, measures, manufactures, and installs their own award-winning brand of shower doors? My Shower Door is a family-owned and operated business and has the highest ratings on Angie's List and Home Advisor. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdor.com.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. Glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There is the talk and text line. We stream live each and every day. DrewSteele.com. DrewSteele.com, the website. S-T-E-E-L-E. That's how you spell Steele, just in case you're wondering. We appreciate everybody watching. I appreciate everybody who is giving me their opinion on the shirt that I'm wearing today. And you people are awful. Every single one of you. And I blame Jake. I blame Jake because he started all the trouble off the air, and then it became something that happened that we talked about off air on DrewSteele.com as I talked to you during the breaks, and he doesn't care. And neither do you. And you shouldn't. Don't even worry about that part. We got other things to talk about. An independent study recommends a new system when it comes to unemployment benefits in the state. What does that mean? What's going on? Dane Eagle is going to join us from the Department of Economic Opportunity and we're going to have a discussion about what exactly this is being presented in the House and Senate, and what it's all about. So Dane Eagle's going to join us at 7:35. And exactly what does he do? Like, what is it? Of course, it affects you. And even with some of the news that has come out over the past few months with this issue, and I guess it's something that needs to be remedied, certainly. The antiquated system, if you will. Is that what's going on? Well, we'll get to all of that coming up. 7:35, Dane Eagle's going to join us. And then Ray Rodriguez is going to join us, Representative Ray Rodriguez from Tallahassee at 8:05, because there's a couple of bills that are running through right now, session through the House and the Senate, that are going to be discussed that will affect you here in Southwest Florida. You have a situation where we have to even talk about a parent's Bill of Rights. Wait till you hear this. And we've talked about it with Representative Rodriguez before, but it's up again and it's being talked about. And as you can imagine, if you have Ray Rodriguez, who's bringing things up in the House, and the Senate is talking about it as well in Tallahassee, you're going to have Democrats and the left in the state who are going to be beside themselves. How dare you do this? Critics are worried that the bill would compromise vulnerable students. How? Well, we're going to find out. And that will be coming up at 8:05. All right, what else do we have going on this morning? Oh, I got to talk about this. First of all, hey, happy birthday, right? Isn't today the day? A big happy birthday, if I'm not mistaken. It was on this day. Well, it's not really a birthday, but I guess in a way. In 1845, on this date, the state of Florida became the 27th state in the Union. Today. In 1845. So it's not really a birthday, but it's a, hey, welcome to the Union. So the 27th state in the Union, 1845, this day, the state of Florida. And speaking of the state of Florida, the governor had his State of the State address. We played some of the clips from his State of the State. We've been doing that this morning. And, there was a discussion that he had in the chamber there in Tallahassee about COVID, the state of the state here in Florida, with regards to his COVID response.
Now, when the initial fallout from COVID began, there was a lot of concern about whether we could afford to continue with the progress we had already made on our priorities like protecting our water resources and K through 12 education. The forecasts were dire. The 2021 legislative session was shaping up to be a fiscal nightmare. Well, I'm pleased to report that our current fiscal outlook is much better than the bleak forecast from last spring. Now, as many of you know, when the pandemic hit, I vetoed $1 billion out of this current year's budget. I also instructed our executive agencies not to spend 100% of the appropriated funds because we didn't know for sure how much revenue we'd be taking in. However, because Florida's economy is open, revenue is coming in at levels far higher than even the most recently revised estimates. For the last 3 months, December, January, February, preliminary estimates peg the increase in revenue at more than $800 million over and above the December revenue estimation. Florida is also below the national average in unemployment and much lower than our peer states of Texas, New York, and California. We also anticipate downward revisions of December's unemployment numbers to reflect even stronger job growth. And as international travel is reinstated and tourism picks up, and I hope the federal government will allow our cruise ships to sail again, they're ready, the employment outlook in Florida should improve even more. And throughout this entire pandemic, Florida has not touched 1 red cent from our rainy day fund.
So there you go, a little bit of a state of the state with the budget and talking about COVID and the effects of COVID on the state and the concerns before session in Tallahassee, which started yesterday, that there would be some budgetary issues and business and how that was going to be here in the state. And according to the governor, it looks like everything is all right considering. And so that is some good news, as opposed to what we're getting from the federal government and from the president of the United States. We need a little morning cup of Joe, don't we?
Sit back with your morning cup of Joe.
Not a joke. Hey, Mr. President, when are we getting back to normal here in this place?
I've been cautioned not to give an answer to that because we don't know for sure. But my hope is by this time next year, we're going to be back to normal, and before that, my hope. But again, it depends upon if people continue to be smart and understand that we still can have significant losses. There's a lot we have to do yet.
Okay. How's that feel to you? Does that sound good coming from the President of the United States next year? Hey, Jake, listen, next year, about this time next year, I think we might hit some sense of normal by this time next year. Feel good about that? What do you think? I think that's a reasonable number, right? No, it's not reasonable at all. No, I would agree with you there. Yeah, we all have a problem with that, and especially when we consider what we're doing here in the state, which you just heard about. The state of affairs in the state from the governor, and even with the state of Texas, who, look, the decisions that they made early on, Greg Abbott, and mask mandates and shutting down businesses and waiting this long to open up businesses, coming back and saying they're going to be open next Wednesday. 100% of businesses, they'll be up and running, and then the mask mandates from the state will be gone. And, of course, when you look at the state of Florida, we don't have mask mandates from the state. And then you look at Texas and you wonder, well, why did you do all of that? And we see the numbers in the data. All right. Well, anyway, the president says, hey, look, maybe sometime next year we'll get to you guys. We'll be back to some sense of normalcy. Really. Until the next, what? Oh, and by the way, speaking of the president of the United States. Not a joke. Not a joke. Some of the things that he forgets. I mean, some of the things he doesn't know what's going on. I mean, some of the things he's talking about. When asked as he's walking away from this meeting and this presser about the quick presser over COVID, and how thanks to the former president of the United States and Operation Warp Speed, we're going to have, along with Johnson & Johnson and the other vaccine providers, we're going to have enough vaccines to vaccinate 100% of the population if they would like by the end of May. I'm kidding. He didn't give any former president credit for it. He made it sound as if he had everything to do with it, which is really a joke. No, it's not a joke. Not a joke. It's not a joke. Here's the president as he's walking away being questioned by the press. Hold on a second. They had a question about what's going on along the border. Not a joke. I know it's not a joke. What did they ask the press?
Did you receive a briefing about the border today? Did you receive a briefing about the border today?
Yes, I did.
What did you learn?
A lot.
Is there a crisis at the border, sir?
Okay, I don't know if you could hear that, but they said, did you have a meeting about what's going on along the border? Yes. What did you learn? I learned a lot. Hey, is there a crisis on the border? No, there's no crisis on the border. Somebody might have a difference of opinion with that.
Breaking news.
A bombshell.
Is this breaking news, a bombshell? I don't know if it's a bombshell or not, but hey, here's some news when it comes to the meeting that he had about the border. No border crisis, nothing to see here. Mayorkas, the DHS secretary yesterday, saying, come on, there's no border issue. There's no crisis along the border. Well, he had a meeting yesterday. This sounds like a little bit of a crisis. Axios is reporting that Tuesday afternoon briefing prepared for the president outlines the need for 20,000 beds to shelter an expected crush of child migrants across the U.S.-Mexico border. Oh, can't be that big a crush, right? What is it, like 2, 3, 5, couple? I mean, how are we doing here? Well, he was told that the number of migrant kids is on pace to exceed the all-time record by 45%. And the administration doesn't have enough beds. That sounds like a crisis. DHS currently projects that there will be 117,000 unaccompanied child migrants crossing the border this year, according to information on this slide presentation that was given. But nothing to see here. Everything is fine. Everything is absolutely fine across the border. If the president said so, then you know it's pretty much
bowl of doggy do.
I could say that better. We leave it to Nancy Pelosi to have all the answers. All right, 239-479-5592. Hey, let's take a break. When we come back, we will talk about the fact that coming up at 7:35, Dane Eagle's going to join us. We're going to talk to him a little bit about the unemployment benefit system here in the state. I guess there's some revisions that are going to be taking place. And what exactly does he do there? What is his gig, Department of Economic Opportunity, the DEO? We're going to get to that. Ray Rodriguez, Representative Ray Rodriguez at 8:05, because there's a lot of things that are happening that affect you specifically coming out of Tallahassee in session that has started yesterday. And then did Chris Wray have some interesting things to say to Ted Cruz when it comes to how the FBI treats Antifa as opposed to, the white supremacist mob that was committing an insurrection against the Capitol on January 6th. Is there a little bit of a difference of how people are being treated? I don't know. We'll hear his words coming up. Stay break 92.5 Fox News, right all along with traffic. Here's Sabrina Katz.
Traffic is slowing down on the interstate from a crash at mile marker 134. We're almost at 2 miles now. If you're heading south of Colonial to Daniels, just stick to 6 Mile or Tree Line. Also, the shutdown at Burnt Store and Durden Parkway, still that closure there. If you're commuting between Durden and Diplomat, stick to Old Burnt Store Road. Between Zemmel and Diplomat, stick to US 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible to start. High temperature of 79 and breezy. And because of a cold front passing by for the late morning into the early afternoon, brief rain will be possible. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
When your liberal relatives from up north come for a month, turn up 92.5 Fox News in the house, in the car, and on the radio at the beach. 92.5 Fox News. Run all along.
Hi, this is State Representative Spencer Roach. This week, we began our 60-day legislative session, and over the next 2 months, I'll be providing weekly updates on critical issues. I promise to keep you and your family at the forefront of every vote that I take. Our Republican legislature is committed to safeguarding the liberty, security, and prosperity that we enjoy here in Florida. Specifically, we're working hard to pass legislation to increase penalties on rioters and looters, to protect small businesses from frivolous COVID-related lawsuits, to crack down on the big tech cartels that want to cancel conservative voices, and to protect the integrity of our elections process here in Florida. We're encountering fierce resistance from Democrats who want to socialize Florida just like they've done in New York and California. All I can say is not on my watch. This is State Representative Spencer Roach. Thank you again for the privilege of serving as your voice in Tallahassee. I never forget that I work for you, and I won't let you down. Sponsored by Friends of Spencer Roach, Post Office Box 3179, North Fort Myers, Florida, 33918.
Hey guys, there is some important news that all men should take very seriously. Your prostate health. Are you urinating more frequently? Are you waking up at night to urinate? Are you sick and tired of prostate pills that just don't work? Sound familiar? If you are one of the millions of men with prostate problems that are driving you nuts, there is some great news. Prostagenics is the all-natural product that beat over 157 other prostate supplements in lab tests and was rated the #1 most powerful prostate supplement in the world. #1, because it works. So why not try some Prostagenics, and your prostate troubles will be a thing of the past. You'll get a great night's sleep and stop waking up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom. To get your free bottle of Prostagenics, call now, 800-600-2020. That's 1-800-600-2020. Take advantage of our 90-day money-back guarantee. Call 800-600-2020. Do it now.
Why wait for so-called one-time refund relief from big insurance companies when you can get the best prices and coverages all day, every day, all year round from Chapman Insurance Group? Hi, this is Brian Chapman, and my team is committed to finding you the most efficient coverage at the best rates. Give us an opportunity to quote your home, auto, business, or flood policy. I'm confident we can save you money for the same or better coverage. Visit CIGFlorida.com or call an office near you today. Naples, Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Port Charlotte, and Punta Gorda. CIGFlorida.com.
You probably know Lusk, Dre Sites, and Tallahassee for car accidents and other personal injury matters. But did you know they have attorneys who specialize in many other areas of the law? Whether you're in need of creating or updating your will and testament, or need advice about divorce or child custody, they have an attorney for you. And unlike the all-too-familiar competitors, at Lusk, Dre Sites, and Tallahassee, you'll be meeting directly with the attorney handling your matter, not some coordinator or case manager looking to increase their numbers. Lusk, Dre Sites, and Tallahassee. They've been serving you for over 35 years. Have a family law question? Are you seeking a divorce or have child custody issues you need resolved? Do you need assistance with dividing property? At Lusk, Draceits, and Tallahassee, their attorneys can walk you through this difficult process as the needed advocate to protect your legal rights. They've been here for you in the past, they're here today, and will be here for you tomorrow. LDTlaw.com. Offices Cape Coral, Fort Myers, Naples. There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
239-479-5592, the phone number in the text line. DrewSteele.com is the website if you want to watch. It's mobile friendly, good for your phone, your smart device, even your computer. You can watch. Yeah, I was a little bothered by FBI Director Wray. Look, if he's still around, he's... sorry, I don't trust the FBI director. I don't trust what he says. A couple of things yesterday. He was quick to point out domestic terrorism was taking place with the January 6th attack. It was Ted Cruz that was questioning him as all the deaths and destruction that was taking place during 2020 and Antifa, Black Lives Matter, all the attacks going on across the country that we all know about. And he hemmed and hawed about what he thought about what it was going on with Antifa, not specifically saying anything. But I thought this was an interesting exchange when we had a story early on about the officer, the Capitol Police officer, who we were told was killed with a fire extinguisher by Trump loyalists. Remember, that was pushed by the New York Times and others. And then all of a sudden there was this little update that said, oh, no, we may have been wrong about that. There's been changes in the cause of death. And it wasn't by fire extinguisher. And so they put out basically a little significant update, and so did others, because that's not what happened. He wasn't killed, Brian Sicknick. He was not killed by an extinguisher. And so he was questioned yesterday, FBI Director Wray, about this. Can we get some information on the officer's death specifically?
So I'll take the last part of your question first. There is an ongoing investigation into his death. I have to be careful at this age, because it's ongoing, not to get out in front of it. But I certainly understand and respect and appreciate the keen interest in what happened to him. After all, he was here protecting all of you. And as soon as there is information that we can appropriately share, we want to be able to do that. But
appropriately share? It's been this long. Why can't you appropriately share it?
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Got mold?
In your house?
What do I do now?
Call 239-936-1033.
Call Fire Service, your disaster response brings.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. Flickering lights and hot switches can be annoying, but they can also signal a major problem, or worse, an electrical emergency. So play it safe and leave it to the experts at Mr. Sparky. We'll get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $77 off any repair.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
True relief for back and neck pain. In my office, Johnston Spinal Care 596 Back, every day I talk with patients that for so many years just suffered with back or neck pain. many just assuming that it was normal or something they had to live with. They'd tried injections, epidurals, or even surgery with no success, always looking for a chair to relieve pain, or always dreading pain while sleeping or getting out of bed. It's time to treat the root of the problem. Please don't think there are no other options. You can overcome problems from sciatica, stenosis, neuropathy, bulging degenerative discs, or scoliosis. Non-surgical spinal decompression can change your life. Think of how much happier you'd be without pain. This Medicare-friendly treatment combines science and technology to offer a state-of-the-art, non-surgical procedure that is remarkably effective. We always offer a free telephone consultation and free x-rays to see if you're a candidate for spinal decompression. Johnston Spinal Care, we're here for you. Call 596-BACK. 596-BACK. That's 596-2225.
Ever purchased an online item and either it doesn't fit, has missing parts, or became damaged? Trying to save a few bucks can end up costing more. My Shower Door is a locally owned and operated family business that measures, manufactures, and installs our own brand of frameless shower doors right here in Southwest Florida. And we were just named Lee County's Manufacturer of the Year. With almost 80,000 shower doors installed, we have the experience and expertise. Plus, estimates are always free. Want to see more? Go to myshowerdoor.com.
Ms. Foster, President Biden says there will be enough coronavirus vaccine produced for everyone in America by the end of May.
When we came into office, the prior administration had contracted for not nearly enough vaccine to cover adults in America. We rectified that.
He's urging states to get teachers vaccinated now. Another 1,900 coronavirus deaths and 55,000 new cases were reported yesterday in the U.S., according to the Johns Hopkins University count. 10 rockets have hit Al Assad Air Base in Iraq. American troops are stationed there.
It's not clear at this stage if anyone was hurt. The attack comes 5 days after the US launched airstrikes in Syria, targeting militants backed by Iran. That was in response to another barrage of rockets.
Fox's Simon Owen. A U.S. military spokesman says the Iraqi military is leading the investigation and response to the rocket attack. America's listening to Fox News.
This break is sponsored by Cornerstone Builders. Give us the opportunity to wow you.
Wink News traffic.
Traffic is slowing down on the interstate from a crash at mile marker 134. We're almost at 2 miles now. If you're heading south of Colonial to Daniels, just stick to 6 Mile or Tree Line. Also, the shutdown at Burnt Store and Durden Parkway, still that closure there. If you're commuting between Durden and Diplomat, stick to Old Burnt Store Road. Between Zemmel and Diplomat, stick to US 41. That's your up to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible for your Wednesday morning, and then a cold front is on its way for later this morning and into the afternoon. And along the front, brief rain possible. The rainfall expectations overall pretty minimal because this is going to be a fast mover. But heads up, some rain briefly possible, and then cooler, drier as we hit tonight and all the way into tomorrow morning. So that's going to take our high temperature of 79 for today to 57 into your Thursday morning, eventually becoming mostly sunny for Thursday afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80, and then a chance of rain on Saturday, but getting better by Sunday into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
From smartphones and TVs to desktops, laptops, and tablets.
Every audio device in this hemisphere.
All you have to do is tell your smart device to play 92.5 Fox News.
Hey, if you need to sell your home without all the headaches most people experience, hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you that after years of buying, selling, investing millions of dollars in real estate, that all real estate agents do not operate the same way. Now, what makes the difference between a home selling fast and for top dollar and one that sits on the market for months and doesn't even sell at all? Well, you have a great American right in your backyard that I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Denny Grimes of Keller Williams, Naples. Now, he services the entire Naples Fort Myers area and has a marketing plan that will guarantee to get your home sold and for top dollar. Denny spends thousands of dollars every month and creates demand for your home, which makes it sell faster and for more money. Now, you risk nothing because if at any point you're not happy, well, you can get out of the contract free and clear and pay nothing. But trust me, that's not going to happen. Don't play games with your home. Don't make a move without talking to Denny. 239-489-4663. That's 239-489-HOME. Or online, it's 489home.com. Call Denny and start packing.
It's Fred Kobe with Kobe Cooling. I was lucky enough to hear my friend Rush Limbaugh on his very first broadcast in Florida over 30 years ago. After more than 24,000 hours of listening to Rush, I feel like we're buddies. I've always been proud to advertise in his time slot because we love Rush Limbaugh. My father and I used to talk about Rush every day. It gave us some commonality, and I'll cherish those moments forever. We pray for Rush's wife, Catherine, and his brother and family, and we hope that God's healing hands finds them. And until we meet again, Maha Rushi, mega dittos from all of the Kobes at Kobe Cooling. When you think of air conditioning companies, we hope you'll think of Kobe Cooling. No nonsense and no pressure. We're the company your neighbors use. License CACO 57313.
Did you know that King Roofing has expert dedicated repair crews to troubleshoot roof problems? They can fix everything from tree damage to broken tiles and, of course, roof leaks. Do you have a leak or water stains or tile damage? Call King Roofing, a roofing company with the right team to repair it. King Roofing, experienced in roof repair for over 40 years.
License number CCC 057279.
Every castle deserves a king.
We are back, our first Friday remote at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. Look forward to seeing you there. You know the store is amazing. Everything in the store is fresh, made from scratch. Southwest Florida's largest selection of fresh produce, sushi and pasta, pizza, and so much more. 4 different bars, live entertainment, 7 nights a week. I can go on and on, but find out for yourself. Join us 6 to 9 a.m. on Friday, our first Friday live remote broadcast. Look forward to seeing you there at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, located at the corner of Livingston Road and Immokalee in North Naples this Friday.
Today, people will wake up, and before the day is over, their life will be changed forever. Car crashes can't be predicted. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The law firm you choose to prepare you for life after today may well be the most important decision you ever make. All law firms are not the same. The insurance company knows who will take your case to trial and who won't. Visit forthepeople.com to learn more about us. There's only one Morgan & Morgan. Dial pound law on your cell. Offices, Fort Myers and Naples.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Daybreak 92.5 Fox News 239-479-5592. There is the talk and text line. We stream live, drewsteele.com, the website, anytime you want to watch. You can watch on your phone. It's on your smart device, on your computer. It's mobile friendly. That's the way we set it up. Pretty simple. Coming up in about 10 more minutes, Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. And a reminder that on Friday, because this is the first Friday of the month, our First Fridays. We do First Fridays each and every month. We are out with you. And again, this week we will be at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. So we're looking forward to broadcasting live 6 to 9 a.m. We'll be there. They open an hour early, so you can enjoy breakfast, grab a cup of coffee, grab some breakfast, hang out. We had a great crowd just watching. And we do appreciate everybody showing up at Oaks Farm Seed to Table. So we'll be there again this Friday. Looking forward to it. Make your plans. Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. So happy to have Dane Eagle on with us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, because I have some questions about an article I saw in the AP. And if I know it comes from the AP, it's going to be it's going to be good. About the Florida officials seek to replace jobless benefit system. So I wanted to find out more about it, being that he's the director of the agency that's going to be doing this, the Department of Economic Opportunity. Dane, good morning. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Drew. Good to be with you. Good to talk to you. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So a couple of things as we get into this story. I saw this on the AP, and right away I worry about it. The AP, it's AP. You know how that works, and so there's always going to be things to clear up. The first question might be out of the gate. What exactly do you do? Tell us more. I mean, I know it sounds. I don't want to be funny or trite, but
it's fair. That's fair. Thank you. Yeah. So the governor asked me in September to join his administration. I'm the director of the Department of Economic Opportunity, and what does the Economic Opportunity do? What is that department? It's the equivalent of Department of Labor, HUD, and Department of Commerce, all kind of wrapped into one. We communicate with those three agencies at the federal level here in the state of Florida, and I'm in charge of all things kind of economic related on behalf of the governor and his administration. So we look into making sure those who are unemployed, while they have the opportunity to get the benefits for unemployment, while they are unemployed, let's help them get back to work. That's the number one goal, obviously. I think the governor's done a tremendous job getting our economy back up and running by opening the state of Florida. So our number one priority is helping those unemployed get employment. And then we help with community development. We help bring businesses to Florida and help existing businesses within Florida expand. And those monthly unemployment numbers that we always see, those come out of our agency as well. So that's kind of what we do in a nutshell, but it's focusing on Florida's economy and the DeSantis economy.
Yeah, and we know that from the State of the State yesterday with the governor talking about what has been able to transpire, even though we've had the issues of COVID in the state, looking at the budget and how we've been able to do here. And maybe you can talk about that, because there are people that are trying to figure out when that we could see maybe across the board, certainly this sense of normalcy that we have more than anybody else across the country. But how the governor feels and how you feel when you see what we've been able to do here in the state economically, the numbers. Maybe give us an update on some of that.
It's been remarkable, and if anyone got a chance to tune into the governor's State of the State yesterday, as you mentioned, they would have heard it firsthand from the man himself. But basically, of course, the whole country, the whole world has been in an economic shock since last March. But Florida has been able to pave a way of leadership and how to handle this thing. The governor announced early on that Florida was going to reopen, never again even consider any kind of shutdown. And, we had to make a tough decision at the time, but learning what we all knew as we moved through it, that wasn't the right thing to do. And he acknowledged it and said, never again. So he made a decision to balance people's health and safety, but also their freedom and their livelihood. We have to have an economy. People have to put food on the table. They have to be able to go to work. So Florida's unemployment rate is at 6.1%, which is below the national average. Comparing that to other states in our nation of similar size, Texas, they're at 7%. New York is at 8%. California's over 9%. So Florida and the governor has taken it on the chin for all these months for opening the state. But yet even the COVID data is very similar, if not better, than some of these other states. And yet we have a lower unemployment rate. So we have proven that this is the way to handle something, not by taking away people's freedom and locking them down, but by giving them an opportunity and lifting them up.
Yeah, and to be fair to the state here, the state of Texas saying that they're going to open up businesses 100% and get rid of mask mandates. Just so everybody understands, we are right now, well, actually, they are at a level in Texas that we were at 5 months ago. I mean, understand where the level is and where the numbers are, not only with COVID, but with the economy and everything else happening in the state. So, and Texas, remember, too, if we're going to compare, remember, it was the governor there in Texas who had a statewide mask mandate, who shut down businesses, and how now they are changing everything around. We didn't have those situations happening here. And good for our governor for doing that. And the results speak for themselves.
They do. They exactly do. We've had 7 or 8 months of job growth, over 700,000 jobs added since the recession kind of took place. I hate to call it a recession because it was a blip. We're moving on. We're getting better. Yeah. And people are getting back to work.
Yeah. Dan Eagle joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. He's the director of the Department of Economic Opportunity. So let me ask you about this, because obviously it's the headline in the article, and I will say this if you have not, but as the headline says, Florida officials seek to replace jobless benefits system. Everybody was confused, upset. The deluge of jobless claims that happened due to the outbreak because of the virus, and to be fair, and maybe you can speak to this. Look, I'm not sure of any system that was ready to handle what was going to happen, what we saw transpire. And to be fair, look, this isn't the only state, I would imagine, that had some issues with the system. But talk about the system itself and what we're doing here in the state.
You're exactly right. And I gave a presentation in the House yesterday and in the Senate on Monday on this. We commissioned a third-party report to basically take a look at it so it could be unbiased and it's not us, us at DEO looking at the problem and proposing fixes. It's somebody else that we can look to and take it with a grain of salt. Let's figure out how to move forward. But yes, all 50 states had a problem with their systems. All 50 states had delays. All 50 states were unable to help their those unemployed at some point in time. That was the nature of the pandemic and people being out of work at such large volumes through no fault of their own. No one could have fully prepared for this, and the data clearly shows that. And it wasn't Florida alone, but it did highlight problems with the system. And I think as leaders of our state and the governor, he understands that while we couldn't prepare for it, we need to fix it. We need to figure out how to move forward so that this doesn't happen again. And we need to invest, if we're going to be a state, of course, invest in the technology that is helping to run the state. So the third-party report did propose that we need to fix the system. And what I've outlined is, let's not just throw it away and start over. That could be extremely costly for the taxpayers. But let's see how we can kind of recycle some pieces of it. Yes, make it more modern and user-friendly, put it in the cloud, things that we would expect from, say, our iPhone or Android, whatever it might be, make it more user-friendly. That is going to cost some money over the next 2 years, but the idea is to make that investment now so that we don't have to do it again in 7 years like we're doing now. Do it now, keep it up to date, move forward, and that'll be better for the taxpayers.
Yeah, and look, you're going to have places like AP and other places that are going to really focus on the state of Florida and maybe not talk about other states because politically it's expedient for them. That's what they want to do. They want to make it look like everything is a disaster here, that you've got a governor who is going to be running, and certainly in the discussions for 2024 for a presidential run if he so chooses. And so there's nothing that they would like more than to see some kind of or amplify what has been or ding some things that have happened here in the state, when quite frankly, what we just mentioned, that all 50 states had issues. And look, you have those kind of numbers. Nobody could have imagined the kind of crushing numbers that we were going to see, because nobody could have imagined that we would ever be living in a world where we would have the kind of shutdowns that would happen due to what the government was doing at the time and making all of this and then trying to figure out how to remedy something that is a system that listen, was ultimately not prepared. But, I might ask this too, because there you are. By the way, how's Tallahassee? You enjoying it? Everything good there?
It's cold. It's like Seattle. It hasn't stopped raining.
Are you serious?
It's freezing. Yeah, it feels. It's been raining and cold since I got here in September. It feels like. So I miss home. I miss Southwest Florida.
Yeah. Well, look at it this way. It's a cool opportunity to bring in, introduce yourself to a brand new wardrobe. Maybe some. I don't know. Look at it that way, and that's. I don't know how else to. I'm trying to make it sound good. Yeah, it's awful there. It's cold.
It's an honor to serve the governor's administration and serve the state. So I'll take the sacrifice on the weather to help out our good governor.
But how crazy has it been? I mean, certainly as session is beginning, and you full well know what it's like there in Tallahassee. I think that the good news that we can speak directly to is the fact that we know exactly where we've been, that we've just described here in the state, economically speaking, and some of the other things that we've been able to do even with COVID. And so there have been some, and even in his state address, talking about some of the things that were surprising, even with the budget and things that he has been able to do that last year the numbers were looking pretty dire. Looking not so bad right now as far as where we are and how it's been working there with the governor and some of the process that's going on right now.
It's and you're exactly right. We were obviously, last March I was in session. In my final session, we were looking at what was happening, the state shutting down. We were trying to finalize that budget for the year we're in now, and not knowing what to expect. We had to make some tough decisions then. And here we are now, and obviously still tough decisions need to be made. While it may be a decent year fiscally, it's still a tough year, but it's better than it could have been because of what the governor did to open the state. Much of the taxpayer-driven revenue at the state level is sales tax dollars. If people are locked in their homes, they're not spending money, unless they're on Amazon, and I'm sure they were, but it's not to the same degree if they're out traveling, tourism, you name it. But he decided to open the state. State was open for business. People were able to do what they do, and the revenue is not as bad as it was. And furthermore, people in these other states that were locked down see Florida as that beacon of light, as he said. Sunshine State doesn't just mean sunshine. It means it's a beacon of hope. Come to Florida. You can work, live, retire, raise your family. And that's what people are doing. So it is a lot better than it seemed to be. We still need to make tough decisions. But the House and the Senate just convened yesterday. It's interesting to be on the other side, the executive branch this time around.
Yeah.
But there's good people in both chambers that are going to make the right decision for the people of Florida.
Yeah, how weird is that? I mean, being on this side now, because you're dealing with everybody on a different level. How is that? Is it kind of surreal? Is it strange, odd? Is it good? I mean, tell me.
It is a little surreal. Used to be you don't have a vote anymore. So I'm proposing legislations, for the agency, and I've got to go to the House and the Senate and say, hey, will you support this? Whereas before, as the majority leader, I could say, hey, this is something we are supporting. Let's get behind it. I've now got to convince them. But I've got good friends there, and obviously the governor's backing behind it will help. It's also a little different with COVID. Obviously, everybody's taking their precautions. So it used to be a lot more cordial. You want to get around and see everybody, and now you kind of keep your distance and respect everybody until we can reach that level that the governor's pushing for with vaccines, so everybody can be comfortable again. And we'll get there, but it is a year where everybody's being very cautious, not only with their health and safety, but with the budget.
Yeah, just want to let you know before we go, it's pretty warm here right now.
Thank you, Drew.
Yeah,
I was there a few weeks ago.
Well, when are you going to be back then? So then when are you going to be here? When are you going to be back in town then?
Probably not until session ends. I made that commitment to be here in case the governor needs anything. But once session ends, it'll be summer, and I look forward to being home to see family and friends and all of you. Love to come on the show, too, if you'll have me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll do this again for sure. And I know you were here recently, too, as well, visiting. So that was good times. And all right, so we've got a lot going on that I want to get on top of here coming up. But I appreciate a few minutes with Dane Eagle joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, trying to clear up a couple of things that are going on with the DEO and good stuff. All right, my friend, listen, we'll do this again soon, okay? All the best.
Thank you, Drew. Talk to you soon.
Stay warm. Okay, there he goes. I know it sounds weird talking about Tallahassee. It's like stay warm. Yeah, it's cold. All right, let's do it. It's Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you earn a PhD. We'll do that right now. Caller number 5 at 239-479-5592. If you would like to play, it's your daily civics lesson. It's your daily political lesson. And gather the kids, gather the pets. It's a known fact that cats love 239-479-5592. I don't know where I was going there. All right, we'll play Drew's College next on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Traffic right now. Here's Sabrina Katz.
The crash at the intersection of Burn Store and Durden Parkway is shutting down the intersection. If you're commuting between Durden and need to get towards Diplomat, go ahead and stick to Old Burnt Store Road. Between Zemmel and Diplomat, you can still use US 41 as a great option to avoid the closure. Now the interstate, another story here. 4 miles of backups from a crash that's just south of Colonial. So south of MLK all the way to Daniels, avoid the interstate. You have Ortiz to 6 Mile to get you to Daniels. Even Tree Line is up to speed south to Daniels Parkway. The trip to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible to start. High temperature of 79 and breezy. And because of a cold front passing by for the late morning into the early afternoon, brief rain will be possible. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
This is Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
Hot out today, huh?
You know it.
Glad the AC's working.
No kidding.
What if the AC quit?
Oh, man. Couldn't do a thing inside then.
Too hot.
No way Ashley could do her homework in here.
Hard to concentrate.
Wouldn't even bother trying to study.
Well,
of course her grades would slip.
Dave.
She could kiss Harvard goodbye.
Dave.
Probably end up homeless. Oh, my little girl.
Dave.
What?
What's the best case scenario?
Best case? Okay, best case, I make one call, AC's back up and running right away, everything's fine.
That's best?
Oh, sure, but...
That's best. Best Home Services. They have 4 AC trucks standing by waiting for you to call, loaded with parts, ready to go.
Right now?
Right now.
Huh. Sure is hot out today.
When something goes wrong, we're waiting.
So you're saying
She can still go to Harvard.
Do you promise to love, honor, and cherish, forsaking all others?
I do.
I do.
And now, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you roommates. Go forth.
That's not the vow you took. But if struggles with CPAP have you and your spouse sleeping in separate rooms, it might be time to look into Inspire. Inspire works inside the body with just the click of a remote. That's right, just a button. No mask, no hose, just sleep. Inspire. Sleep apnea innovation.
Talk to your doctor to see if Inspire is right for you. Review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Retire with TriFound with the TriFound Financial Team, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retire with TriFound, Saturday mornings at 8 and Sundays at noon. Insurance products offered through TriFound Financial, LLC.
Trust. It's not a concept, it's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
This is a toxic, dangerous relationship.
I hate you.
Despair.
I don't think anybody else is going to want me.
Danger.
The only way out, if you think you can do this by yourself, is in a body bag.
You're going to hurt her and ruin your life.
Will their toxic love survive?
You need to move on or you're going to wind up in prison. I want to go on record right now. You're in danger.
New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 5 on WXCW.
Drew's College of Political Knowledge is presented by France Eye Care. Better vision, better life.
Attention, class. It's time for Drew's College of Political Knowledge.
It's Drew's
All right, let's go to Lucas. Lucas is in Naples. How do I know? Because he's on my phone. Hi, Lucas.
Hi.
Hey, buddy. How you doing today?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine. Lucas, how old are you?
I'm 10.
All right. You ready for this? Drew's College of Political Knowledge. 4 questions on politics. The more you get right, the higher the degree. We'll see if you're in a PhD. You can do this, Lucas.
Okay.
All right, you ready for your associate's degree?
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go. Lucas, the George Washington was the first president of the United States, right?
Yes, he was.
Who was the second?
John Adams.
That is correct, sir. All right. You got a associate's. We'll see if you get a bachelor's degree on this question. When was the Constitution written, Lucas? The Constitution. When was it written? I'll give you some years. You ready?
Yep.
Or do you already know?
You already know? I know.
Okay,
not quite.
1787, 1791, or 1799?
1787.
That is correct, sir. All right, you're on a roll. So you got a bachelor's. We'll see if you get a master's degree on this question. We had 13 original states. Remember that? 13 original states, original colonies, right?
Yeah.
Can you name 3 of them?
Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, New York, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, and West. Wait.
I only needed 3. So you don't get extra credit for that. Unfortunately, we don't do extra credit. Although Jake is always asking me to do that, and I keep telling him no. But all right, that is great. You got a master's. We'll see if you get a PhD on this question. Listen carefully. In 1865, President Lincoln passed away the day after being shot. What theater was he shot in?
Sports Theater.
That is correct, sir. Lucas, look at you. Congratulations. You got a PhD today on Drew's College. You are very impressive right there. Very nice. Good work. And you got to work on the 13 colonies, though. You missed like 3 of them. So you want to take another shot? I'm worried about you. I'm worried about your education. I'm very concerned, Lucas. I'm not really concerned at all, Lucas. I'm just kidding. And is your dad with you? Is that who's with you right now?
Yes, that's who it
And what's your dad's name?
Josh.
Okay, say hi to Dad.
Hi.
Hey, Drew, how you doing?
I'm good, buddy. All right, we got to take a break. Congratulations. Stay right there.
This is Daybreak. 92.5 Fox News.
Take a peek inside ClosetFactory.com. You'll wonder, how did they build it?
We get that a lot. The quality of our workmanship still seems surprising to some people.
We're known for original, very personal, individual organizational solutions that can seem uncanny at times.
We're professional listeners, too, and do so with focus and intention that can sometimes seem like we're reading minds.
I'm Joseph Edison.
And I'm Kelly Edison from Southwest Florida's own Closet Factory.
Listening, that's how we build it.
At Mr. Sparky, we're America's on-time electrician. The electrical panel is the heart of your home's electrical system. Malfunctions can lead to hazards like fire or power outages, leaving your home at risk or in the dark altogether. So trust our teams at Mr. Sparky to get it done right and get it done safely. Call now for $200 off a panel replacement.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Limitations and restrictions may apply. Independently owned and operated. Licensed in the respective state or county.
Another rocket attack aimed at Americans in Iraq. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Just days after the U.S. retaliated for a similar attack there, Fox's Simon Owen details what happened live.
Dave, 10 rockets hit an airbase hosting American troops in Iraq this morning. It's not clear at this stage if anyone was hurt. No one has claimed responsibility. The Al-Assad base in western Iraq was also hit last year by Iranian missiles. The new attack comes 5 days after President Biden ordered airstrikes in Syria, targeting militants backed by Iran. Those strikes were a response to another rocket attack on U.S. forces last month. Dave?
Simon, U.S. Capitol Police are increasing staffing at the Capitol after reports of intelligence that it's possible protesters could return tomorrow. This as the Senate plans another hearing this morning into January's deadly attack at the Capitol. The timeline's been moved up in the COVID fight. President Biden now says all Americans could get vaccines by the end of May. However,
I've asked the country to wear masks for my first 100 days in office. Now's not the time to let our guard down.
With declining coronavirus cases and the fewest hospitalizations since late October, Texas Governor Greg Abbott, a Republican, is lifting his mask mandate and restrictions.
Too many small business owners have struggled to pay their bills. This must end.
Mississippi's governor, also a Republican, is also ending mask orders and restrictions. Other states have also eased back lately. More sporting events have fans again. There's some COVID concern at the border.
We're learning 108 migrants released by Border Patrol there have tested positive for COVID-19 since January 25th, according to a spokesman for the city of Brownsville, Texas, who added that the city does not have the authority to retain them.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins. America's listening to Fox News.
92.5 WFSX Estero. It's 8 o'clock on Southwest Florida's news and talk station, 92.5 Fox News.
This Wink News update is presented by New South Window Solutions. Find them online at newsouthwindow.com.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at the intersection of Burn Store and Durden Parkway is shutting down the intersection. If you're commuting between Durden and need to get towards Diplomat, go ahead and stick to Old Burnt Store Road. Between Zemmel and Diplomat, you can still use US 41 as a great option to avoid the closure. Now the interstate, another story here. 4 miles of backups from a crash that's just south of Colonial. So south of MLK all the way to Daniels, avoid the interstate. You have Ortiz to 6 Mile to get you to Daniels. Even Tree Line is up to speed south to Daniels Parkway. The trip to the minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible for your Wednesday morning, and then a cold front is on its way for later this morning and into the afternoon. And along the front, brief rain possible. The rainfall expectations overall pretty minimal because this is going to be a fast mover. But heads up, some rain briefly possible, and then cooler, drier as we hit tonight and all the way into tomorrow morning. So that's going to take our high temperature of 79 for today to 57 into your Thursday morning, eventually becoming mostly sunny for Thursday afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80, and then a chance of rain on Saturday, but getting better by Sunday into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, the Weather Authority.
I won't give up the ship.
Talking about what matters.
This country is too great to throw over to communism. I love it.
92.5 Fox News.
The Florida Conservative PC, in association with the Red Pill Roadshow, welcomes Lieutenant General Michael Flynn Thursday, March 11th for a day of celebrating Southwest Florida veterans and fundraising. The veterans-only luncheon is $75, including a message from General Flynn. The evening event begins at 6 p.m. and includes a silent auction, live music, and a photo op with General Flynn. General seating tickets start at just $50 and are available online at thefloridaconservative.com.
Paid for and approved by the Florida Conservative PC, 133 Harbor Drive, Venice, Florida, 34285.
Hi, this is Earl Ron, president of New South Window. At New South, we are determined to build the best Florida window. Energy-efficient windows that stand up to heat and hurricanes. We call it the ultimate Florida window. Factory direct and guaranteed for life. New South has installed tens of thousands of windows across the state and has been named one of the fastest-growing window companies in the nation. And that is why we're New South proud.
Going on now. Save 35% off factory direct windows and doors. Visit newsouthwindow.com.
We are back, our first Friday remote at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. Look forward to seeing you there. You know the store is amazing. Everything in the store is fresh, made from scratch. Southwest Florida's largest selection of fresh produce, sushi and pasta, pizza, and so much more. 4 different bars, live entertainment, 7 nights a week. I can go on and on, but find out for yourself. Join us 6 to 9 a.m. on Friday, our first Friday live remote broadcast. Look forward to seeing you there at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, located at the corner of Livingston Road and Immokalee in North Naples this Friday.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
After a car accident, you can feel like you've lost control. I'm Mark Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After the crash, call the police and document the scene by taking photos of all the vehicles involved. If you were injured, get medical attention as soon as possible. If you've been involved in a car accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Offices Fort Myers and Naples.
You find yourself searching for a reputable air conditioning company?
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
I'm Crystal Casey with Brett Air Conditioning. For over 45 years, our motto has been, don't sweat, call Brett. We are a family-owned business with a great reputation. Whether your AC needs maintained, serviced, or replaced, we are here to serve you. So stop searching and join the Brett Air family today. You can find us online at brettairconditioning.com or call us at 239-566-3633. 239-566-3633.
If you don't love your AC company, call Brett Air right now. Find them online at brettairconditioning.com or like them on Facebook.
Don't sweat. Call Brett.
License number CAC 1819995.
From 92.5 Fox News.
It's the stuff Southwest Florida is talking about.
It's Daybreak. Now, here's the guy at the epicenter of what's important to those of us who live in Southwest Florida. Drew Steele.
Hey, good morning, Southwest Florida. So glad you're here. 239-479-5592. There's the talk and text line. We stream live if you want to watch each and every day. We're at drewsteele.com. Steele has 3 E's. You can go to the website. It's mobile friendly, good for your phone, good for your smart device, good for your computer. It's good for you. It's like a healthy glass of, well, something that's healthy. I don't know. Well, whatever. Coming up, we'll talk more about the governor and the State of the State address from yesterday. And listen, I have some questions about it. Nothing and nobody is perfect. There are things that I have questions about. And let me just emphasize this again. There will be always things that you have questions about, that you want answers on. And it's okay to question everybody. Doesn't mean that you don't like the governor. Doesn't mean you don't like the job that he's doing. It doesn't mean that you don't think he should be reelected or even run for president one day if he would like to. That's not what it means. It means being honest and saying, I have questions about this. When you brought this up, I might want to ask. So I will bring those things up to you and maybe have you tell me if I'm crazy, if I'm wrong. And I'm quite okay with that. So we'll have that coming up. But in the meantime, session has started in Tallahassee, and it's important that we know some of the bills that have been running through the House and the Senate and whether or not they'll ultimately make it to the governor's desk. And there are very important ones that are being moved forward by our representatives here in Southwest Florida. One is Representative Ray Rodriguez, who's joining us right now on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, because I have three pretty big questions to ask about some of the things that he is involved with. So I'm so happy that he is here. Good morning, Ray. How are you?
I'm doing well, Drew. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, it's always great to hear from you, sir. All right. So where do we want to start? Okay, let's start with this one. The question of many have been some of the things that are happening with issues on campus, education, students, faculty, some of the things that many people have a concern about maybe political leanings, maybe intellectual diversity. Maybe you could talk about this. This has to do with, I'm not sure if I'm right with the number. Is it House Bill 613? Maybe that's right, maybe it's not. But you tell me. Talk a little bit more about intellectual diversity and what's happening here.
Drew, I got to be honest. I don't have my bill numbers in front of me. So
that's okay.
That's all right. I can tell you about the bill.
That's what I would like. Okay.
As I've gone across the state speaking at college Republican conferences, I've had students who have approached me and raised concerns about how the conservative viewpoint is treated on campus. And so we've got anecdotal evidence. But as a policymaker, we don't make policy based on one-off stories. We have to know if there's actually a trend and if it's a significant issue. Well, the only way to determine that in this instance is to do a survey. And so that's what the bill would do. It would require a survey be done on each of our university and college campuses to ascertain whether there is viewpoint diversity and intellectual freedom on campus. And that goes many ways. That's not just the students feeling comfortable expressing a conservative thought in class. That's also, are the faculty members comfortable identifying as conservative and putting forth a conservative message on campus? So, these are the things that the bill attempts to capture. It's actually not innovative. It's been done in Colorado. It's been done in Nebraska in their university system. Last session, South Dakota passed legislation requiring their higher education to do it. And it was done voluntarily at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, initiated by faculty members on campus who put it together and conducted the survey. So what we're doing, while it may have been novel 3 or 4 years ago when I proposed it for the first time, is actually becoming mainstream now. And I think what's driving that is the emergence of the cancel culture that we've seen over the last 24 months. And that's alarming academics on both sides of the spectrum, those who are conservative and those who are liberal, because they're seeing the cancel culture emerge and be applied in ways that really have no place in society in general, but in higher education in particular, where the whole point of higher education is not teaching students what to think, but teaching them how to think.
Right.
Giving them conflicting viewpoints, teaching them how to evaluate those viewpoints, search for evidence, and then draw their own conclusions. And so that's what we're trying to do. The only thing the bill requires is that the survey be objective, nonpartisan, and statistically valid.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you wonder why would anybody have a problem with that? That's
a great question, Drew. But the faculty union has lit themselves on fire over this bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, and that just tells you all you need to know. They don't want that information coming up. They don't want all of the things that we've talked about to be out there and exposed, which seems silly because if there's nothing to worry about on that end, then why would you care? The concern is that it actually is a concern for many.
I learned a long time ago when you're dealing with government, if someone says don't ask that question, you should not only ask it, but demand a truthful answer. And that's what we're going to do here.
Yeah. All right. So we'll keep an eye on that. And that is one issue that I wanted to touch on. The next one is this. Here's what I love. Representative Ray Rodriguez is joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. Session has begun. So I wanted to talk about some of the bills that are moving up through there in Tallahassee. So here's what happened. I get up the other day and I noticed this headline, and News Press has it. It says, will Florida be the next hempire? State hits a year or two of growth research with high interest. So I saw this and I thought, well, that's interesting. So a story is coming out about how amazing hemp is and the growth and it doesn't, to me, nothing ever happens in a vacuum. It's just something kind of touches with another issue, and that is, Senator, that all of a sudden we're finding out now that critics are fired up, Senator, about the THC cap on medical marijuana products. Well, that sounds interesting now. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting two and two together. It seems interesting to me that a story came out about the amazing growth of hemp just at the same time where now a story comes out the same day that is looking at something that you have been talking about, Senator, that I think is fascinating, that has to do with the THC cap. Talk about this and the THC cap on medical marijuana products.
Sure. The genesis behind this was a study that was published 2 years ago in The Lancet, which is one of the premier medical journals in the world. And the study was a compilation of research that had been done over the previous 3 decades. So we're talking dozens of meta-analysis is what they call it, dozens of studies over multiple decades, over multiple continents, done in Europe. It was done in Central America. And what the results have shown is that as the cannabis plant has been genetically engineered to yield higher and higher THCs and lower CBD, because the two properties offset one another, that the daily use of high-potency THC is strongly correlated with first incidence of psychosis. So if you're genetically predisposed to psychosis and you become a daily user of cannabis, that daily use of high potency, I want to make sure that's clear, which is, according to the study, greater than 10%, is shown to be a trigger and lead to psychosis. And so we're seeing that all over the world. I find it interesting that the nation that has the most experience with legal cannabis is where Amsterdam is located. They were the first to say, we're not going to pursue criminal charges for the use. So the Netherlands has had legal cannabis for decades. And that nation, a few years back, limited THC for recreational at 15%. They said the high potency is causing too many problems. We're going to cut it off at 15. Anything under 15 is legal. Anything over 15 is illegal. Well, in Florida, we have a medical program. We don't have a recreational. And the whole point of medical is it's supposed to be treating diseases or medical issues. While there is science out there that clearly indicates the CBD component has many positive impacts on a number of conditions, medical conditions, there are no studies that show high THC content has a positive impact on medical conditions. There are a limited number of studies that show low THC has a positive impact on some conditions. So we're not targeting that because we do have an approved medical cannabis program in the state. But the areas that are not medical, that are purely recreational, and that the science shows have negative effects, that's something the government should be regulating. Yeah. And so that's why we're following the example of Amsterdam and putting in a cap on THC here in Florida, what we're going to try to do in the bill.
Yeah, because, Senator, the reason why I brought up the story on the same day is because what we're hearing from the other side, which is you're going to destroy the industry. So, on the one hand, you've got a story coming out saying this is the biggest crop that we're going to have here. It's going to be a hempire. It's going to be amazing. And now you come along and you're going to destroy this. And you see how that works.
Well, two things. Yeah. One, hemp is different than medical marijuana. Hemp, by its nature and by law, I might add, is 0.3, not even 1%, but 0.3% THC. And if it's greater than 0.3, that's an illegal product.
Yeah.
This bill will not touch that industry at all. And that industry can continue to flourish. That's primarily an agriculture industry. This bill may impact the medical marijuana industry that is high potency. But what I would say to that is we did not see the industry suffer, the marijuana industry suffer in Amsterdam when they put a cap in. Anything that can be engineered, and this plant that they've continued to genetically engineer to yield higher and higher and higher THC, can be de-engineered. Anything that can be constructed can be deconstructed. I'm 50 years old. When I was in college, the typical cannabis that was out on the market was around 4 to 6% THC. Today, what we're selling in Florida for medical purposes is 28% THC. That didn't happen by nature. That wasn't a plant that naturally developed. That was genetically engineered in labs to yield ever-increasing THC, and we're going to continue going down that path because once someone gets addicted to it, they need ever-increasing THC to get the same high. We're just saying we're not going to have you do that under the blessings of medicine here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, and you just got I just got pointed at by Jake, who just said that's true. So Jake the Millennial is agreeing with you, Senator. So when you have
that's great.
When you have the agreement of Jake the Millennial, it's over. You've got it. You've got the blessing of Jake the Millennial. So that is look. And again, this is an issue that we should be talking about. This is something that we should be looking at the studies, the science, and the data. You know how we all like to do this. So whether it's anything, and you have some, and certainly when this issue comes up, you know there's emotion attached to it. You understand that. That's with this
Sure.
This issue has that emotion behind it, as opposed to the science and the data and some of the examples that you bring up. And that's always a critical component in this, to be able to step back and to look at this seriously. And that takes me to something else where we need to step back and take something on seriously. Senator Ray Rodriguez joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, talking about some of the issues as we roll through session right now and some of the things that have been clearing committees in the House and Senate. And one of them that we've talked about in the past is the Parents' Bill of Rights. Let's talk about this a little bit, because I'm not sure that people understand specifically what it is and why it's so important and why we even need to have this right now.
Well, I would say here's the critical thing. Through the years, the Florida legislature has enumerated that parents have rights over raising their children. And we put that in the section of law that has been pertinent to the subject matter at hand. So, for example, in the last decade, we have spelled out what those rights are and customizing the education for the children so we don't have to do a one-size-fits-all. We spelled out what those rights are in education as far as their access to educational records, their right to have updates from the school district on the academic progress of their child, their rights to have report cards delineating the academic progress, the attendance, and the conduct of the child in the class. We've done it in healthcare, delineating the right that it's up to the parent of whether their children receive medical care. It's up to the parent to make the decision if their children are going to be vaccinated, if there are mandatory vaccines, what the exemptions to those vaccines are, and how it's the parent's call to make those choices on those exemptions. But the problem is if you're a layperson and you're not an attorney and you're trying to figure out as a parent, do I have this right? Do I not have this right? It's very difficult to scroll through the entirety of the Florida chapter of statutes, which are, I want to say, a dozen volumes as I look at, what's on the shelves. And you can do it electronically, but then you're hitting next each time as you're trying to scroll through and find where are the rights and what are they. What we are doing in this bill is we are pulling everything out of statute where we have delineated that the parents have a right. We're duplicating it, collating it, and creating a new section. So with an easy one-stop shopping, any parent can go in, pull up Florida statutes online, Google Parents' Bill of Rights, and have everything in one location of what their rights are. And the reason this is critical is it is the parents' right to raise their children, not government's right to interfere. So that's the first thing we do in this. The second thing we do is if government is going to interfere in those rights of a parent over their children, then there has to be a very high threshold, that legal threshold to clear to justify that. Now, both the U.S. Supreme Court and the Florida Supreme Court have found that it is the parents' right to raise their children, and that government does not have the right to interfere in that unless there's an overwhelming state-compelling reason to do so.
Right.
And so in legal terms, and I'm not a lawyer, but a lawyer has drafted this bill, Representative Aaron Grawl, who filed this bill in the House last year and is running it in the House again this year. She says that what we have put in this bill is the highest level, which is called strict scrutiny, which is the practice of the courts, but has never been codified in case law. So by putting it in this bill and codifying it, we will ensure that no rogue judge anywhere in the state could then use a lower standard to justify the government interfering in the parental relationship between parent and child.
Yeah. I know we talked about this before, and I said the same thing before, and I'll say it again. I can't believe we have to do this. You know, I can't. From the standpoint of parents' rights, certainly understanding what their rights are, but the fact that we have to do this in order to fight against a government who wants to be the parent and act like the parent and act like the authority.
And I can't believe the number of people that show up to testify against this bill.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand. All right, Senator, that's all the time we have, and I do appreciate it. Senator Ray Rodriguez joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, and my apologies because I was getting screamed at on social media here on my DrewSteele.com account that I referred to you as representative. I'm so 2020. You see how that, yeah.
I didn't even pick up on that.
Good. So I shouldn't have, see, Jake, I shouldn't have said anything. I could have just went through this whole interview and you wouldn't recognize it. No, they were screaming at me. I said it once or twice. It's because, it's a 2020.
That's what you've called me for 8 years, so it's all good. Thanks for having me on, Drew.
All right, my friend. We'll see you soon. All the best. Ray Rodriguez joining us on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News. All right, we got to go to break. Let's do that right now. Let's see, top 5 audio clips of the day, the 5 at 8:35 on the way, and much more coming up on Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. The antidote to the anti-conservatives. 92.5 Fox News. Right all along.
People say they don't like going to the dentist, but what they mean is they don't like the discomfort. Dr. Alan Rembos at smilesbyrembos.com understands. Dr. Rembos uses computerized anesthetic delivery, resulting in 50% fewer injections. And Dr. Rembos places and restores implants, eliminating delays, additional costs, and no running around. New patients and emergencies usually seen within 24 hours. Cosmetic treatment often completed in 1 to 2 weeks. Read the reviews at smilesbyrembos.com. Offices in Marco, Naples, Sanibel, and Fort Myers.
Imagine replacing your old kitchen with the kitchen of your dreams. Brand new custom-made cabinet doors. Drawer fronts, hand-finished by true craftsmen. Designer hardware, new hinges, and everything installed beautifully in less than a week, start to finish. Expensive? No. To the contrary, with refacing by Cornerstone, you'll save so much, we should really talk about your master bathroom, too. Go for wow. Go for Cornerstone.
Let Naples Shutter enhance your home's beauty and increase its value. From our legendary all-wood plantation shutters made right here in Naples for over 40 years, to luxurious blinds and shades, to the unique island appeal of Bahama shutters, Naples Shutter has you covered with a lifetime guarantee and over 40,000 satisfied customers. Call 239-566-8161 today for a free estimate. That's 239-566-8161 or visit naplesshutter.com.
I'm about to say a dirty word, a really dirty word. Cover your kids' ears. Ready? Plumber. Hi, I'm Rob Hill of Bob Hill Plumbing. I'm not sure why plumber is a dirty word. I like to think of myself as a respectful, clean, and honest plumber. In fact, I'm proud to say that Bob Hill Plumbing is one of the oldest businesses in Naples. My dad founded Bob Hill Plumbing in 1952. I instill the same tradition and values as he had back in the 50s. I dare you to find that in the chuck in a truck world. Everyone has an AC guy and an electrical guy, but a plumber? If you need plumbing services, I invite you to call me today, and I'll prove to you that we've cleaned up the word plumber. See, even the radio guy stopped beeping me out. Bob Hill Plumbing. Let me be your plumbing guy.
To schedule service, call Bob Hill Plumbing at 262-6119 or go to bobhillplumbing.com.
2 chocolate chip muffins coming in. Thank you.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Hey, can someone get that?
Like at Claire's Cafe. To satisfy demand for takeout, she needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
Trust. It's not a concept. It's a commitment.
Reliable and honest every single day.
At Wink News, we're committed to reporting the news that matters for you.
Thank you for trusting Wink News. This is a big story.
And that affects you.
We're coming to you live.
Because if we're asking for your trust, we will continue our commitment to be trustworthy.
The reason people trust us is the people that work here.
With 6 decades in the community, trust Wink News. Weeknights at 6.
This is a toxic, dangerous relationship.
I hate you.
Despair.
I don't think anybody else is going to want me.
Danger.
The only way out, if you think you can do this by yourself, is in a body bag.
You're going to hurt her and ruin your life.
Will their toxic love survive?
You need to move on or you're going to wind up in prison. I want to go on record right now. You're in danger.
New Dr. Phil.
Dr. Phil, today at 5 on WXCW.
I cannot tell you how awesome it is when my family comes over and I say, you're going to get great tasting water straight from your faucet. I'm telling you, it's great on your skin, your hair, and your appliances. Think of what your water's doing now. Well, you should call now for your free multi-point Pentair water test. And I'm telling you, you're going to love the way your water tastes with your new Pentair water system. Every faucet in your house, it's the coolest thing ever. And there's a big difference when you call a Pentair water specialist. When you give Max a call at Pentair, trained, uniformed experts in our city and well water. That's a big deal, right? With their mobile showroom, you're wondering what you're going to get. A wide range of water treatment options, and you can see them in front of you. They install your new Pentair water system for you, and the big news right now is Pentair has a new Easy Flow under-counter filtration system. It is certified to reduce 99% of lead. Call now for your free water test, and right now save 15% on your whole home water system like I have in my house. With Pentair, never any sales pressure, so call them, 239-880-7799, or book online at PelicanWestFL.com.
At FPL, we're always looking the future straight in the eye. When the future said cut back on foreign oil, we made way for clean, American-made natural gas. And when the future said we need more clean energy, we said, how about 30 million solar panels by 2030? And when it said we need zero carbon emissions, we said, okay, how about green hydrogen? That's energy made from water. We're planning, preparing, and investing because Florida deserves an energy future we can depend on. See how at fpl.com/value.
This update is presented by Stevie Tomato Sports Page in Fort Myers, Cape Coral, and Naples.
Wink News traffic.
The crash at the intersection of Burn Store and Durden Parkway is shutting down the intersection. If you're commuting between Durden and need to get towards Diplomat, go ahead and stick to Old Burnt Store Road. Between Zemmel and Diplomat, you can still use US 41 as a great option to avoid the closure. Now the interstate, another story here. 4 miles of backups from a crash that's just south of Colonial. So south of MLK all the way to Daniels, avoid the interstate. You have Ortiz to 6 Mile to get you to Daniels. Even Tree Line is up to speed south to Daniels Parkway. That's your up-to-the-minute traffic. I'm Sabrina Katz. Wink News now.
Wink Weather Authority.
A little bit of patchy fog possible for your Wednesday morning, and then a cold front is on its way for later this morning and into the afternoon. And along the front, brief rain possible. The rainfall expectations overall pretty minimal because this is going to be a fast mover. But heads up, some rain briefly possible, and then cooler, drier as we hit tonight and all the way into tomorrow morning. So that's going to take our high temperature of 79 for today to 57 into your Thursday morning, eventually becoming mostly sunny for Thursday afternoon. Highs in the mid to upper 70s to near 80, and then a chance of rain on Saturday, but getting better by Sunday into next week. With Wink News, I'm meteorologist Matt Devitt, Weather Authority.
Serving up a tray load of truth today on 92.5 Fox News.
It's
Big Al from Stevie Tomato's Sports Page. Do you feel American pride and want to shout, God bless America? As a son of immigrants who came through Ellis Island, I stand when the national anthem plays and get emotional thinking of those who have sacrificed for America's greatness. At Stevie's, we're filled with gratitude for our great customers and the country we live in. The firemen, police, emergency service, construction workers, and those who go about each day providing a foundation for our country. We love our customers and express our gratitude with our food, service, and value. Thankful for your dedication for what you do. And to all our great customers, show your love for this great country by going to any Stevie's. Stand at the bar and say loud and clear for all to hear, God bless America, and I'll buy you a 10-ounce beer. Restrictions apply in Cape Coral, Fort Myers, and Naples. God bless America.
Stevie Tomatoes, Sports Page. Come for the food. Stay for the sports.
In Southwest Florida, yeah, I'm talking to you. We play, we lay, we sweat, we net, we swim, we gym, we play some more. Then this happens. Were you prepared? From up-to-the-minute storm tracking to long-term forecasting, the Wink Weather Authority always has you covered. Because if you want to head out, it's always a matter of weather or not. Trust Wink News, the Weather Authority.
On the next Drew Barrymore show, he ignited my career 37 years ago. Stephen King. Girls would never start fires, or would they? Let's get scared. And tell me your secret star, Amy Brenneman. Plus, TikTok food trends that you can try tonight. If it tastes good, I'll eat it. All new Drew.
Drew, today at 3 on Wink.
There is nothing that changes as much as tax law. After all, there have been tax changes, stimulus dollars, changes on the changes, but they're all meant to put more money in your pocket. Don't make a mistake that could cost you thousands. Let EG Tax be your tax interpreter and guide. Come join the EG Tax family at their Naples office across from Tamiami Ford. Call 239-262-2009. That's 262-2009. Or click egtax.com. That's egtax.com.
The Florida Conservative PC, in association with the Red Pill Roadshow, welcomes Lieutenant General Michael Flynn Thursday, March 11th for a day of celebrating Southwest Florida veterans and fundraising. The veterans-only luncheon is $75, including a message from General Flynn. The evening event begins at 6 p.m. and includes a silent auction, live music, and a photo op with General Flynn. General seating tickets start at just $50 and are available online at thefloridaconservative.com.
Paid for and approved by the Florida Conservative PC, 133 Harbor Drive, Venice, Florida, 34285.
Trust. It's the rock-solid foundation of Moran Wealth Management. Over 40 years ago, they began advising clients on ways to help meet their financial goals. 4 decades later, we've helped many reach their goals of providing for themselves, their families, and future generations. CEO Tom Moran has assembled an impressive team of professionals, each committed to the same core concept. Tom is recognized by Barron's as a Hall of Fame advisor. To be named a Hall of Fame advisor, the advisor has to have been ranked by Barron's consecutively for the last 10 years in any of their rankings. Let us earn your trust. Call 239-920-4440 or visit moranwm.com. Barron's rankings are based on data provided by thousands of advisors. Factors included in the rankings were assets under management, revenue produced for the firm, regulatory record, length of service, quality of practice, and client retention. Investment products and services are offered through Wells Fargo Advisors Financial Network, LLC, WFAFN, member SIPC. Moran Wealth Management is a separate entity from WFAFN.
We are back, our first Friday remote at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in North Naples. Look forward to seeing you there. You know the store is amazing. Everything in the store is fresh, made from scratch. Southwest Florida's largest selection of fresh produce, sushi and pasta, pizza, and so much more. 4 different bars, live entertainment, 7 nights a week. I can go on and on, but find out for yourself. Join us 6 to 9 a.m. on Friday, our first Friday live remote broadcast. Look forward to seeing you there at Oaks Farm Seed to Table, located at the corner of Livingston Road and Immokalee in North Naples this Friday.
Searching everywhere for great prices on appliances? No, you're not, because you have better things to do. Besides, Good Deals has it for less, and they have plenty of items in stock despite shortages everywhere else. Remember, Good Deals guarantees the lowest price on everything they sell. Find a lower price anywhere, and Jay will beat it, guaranteed. Visit one of the showrooms in Fort Myers, Naples, and Cape Coral, or shop online at gooddealsappliances.com.
Good Deals Appliances. Have we got a deal for you?
Canada Hannity at 3 and Drive Home with Trey Radel at 5. Now, back to Drew Steele on 92.5 Fox News.
All right, it's Daybreak, 92.5 Fox News, 239-479-5592. A reminder, we would love to see you at Oaks Farm Seed to Table on Friday. It is our first Friday, everybody. Our first Fridays, we do this. We bring the show out on the road so that we can hang out with you. I'm not talking about a sense of normalcy. We need to get back to normal, and being normal for us is getting out and seeing you and hanging out with you and being out on the road. So first Friday of every month, Oaks Farm Seed to Table, 6 to 9 a.m. They open up an hour early, so you could come in and grab a cup of coffee, grab breakfast, grab a seat, and it's great. We're on the big stage, and there's plenty of seating around, and so you just come, bring the family, sit down, enjoy the program. We get a chance to be with you and hang out, and we love it. We had a great time last month, and so looking forward to it again. It is Oaks Farm Seed to Table, 6 to 9 a.m. on Friday. They open up an hour earlier in North Naples at Livingston and Immokalee Road. So hope to see you there. All right, you ready, Jake? Time for the top 5 audio clips of the day. Here we go. It's a 5 at 8:35.
Drew's Top 5 at 8:35 is brought to you by Moran Wealth Management. Isn't it time to review your portfolio options? Go to moranwm.com.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drew's 5 at 8:35.
Number 5.
As we figure out what flu strains have been circulating in places like Australia or South America, which sort of predicts what strains are likely to come into our country. There's been so little flu in those two areas, I think it's going to be hard for us to try and figure out what flu strains to pick. But you're right. If we mask and social distance every winter, we will see a dramatic reduction in flu, which usually causes hundreds of thousands of hospitalizations and tens of thousands of deaths. I wonder whether that will be the lesson.
No. Do you see? Here come the goalposts moved. Here we go, everybody. That was just a little while ago on CNN. A pundit who was on there talking about the flu activity, the lowest point in 15 years amid all the pandemic measures that we've been taking. And so this genius over here is saying, look, we have to do this every year, everybody. This is going to be the new norm from now until the end of time. Every winter, we're going to mask up and social distance. So say the experts, because look at where the flu has gone. Look at what we've done to be able to tackle the issue of COVID. No.
Number 4.
I've been cautioned not to give an answer to that because we don't know for sure. But my hope is by this time next year, we're going to be back to normal, and before that, my hope. But again, it depends upon if people continue to be smart and understand that we still can have significant losses.
All right, so there's Joe Biden, President of the United States, who just wants to let everybody know that, listen, probably next year sometime we'll get back to normal, maybe this time next year. So hang in there, everybody, as long as you continue to do exactly what we're telling you to do. You know, the social distancing and the masking, and probably going to mask forever, so you might as well get used to it. Maybe have something permanently attached to your face. Because it's going to be there anyway. You're going to need it, so why not? Make it washable and maybe even stain-free, because if it gets really stained, it's going to be pretty disgusting. But yeah, so that's Joe Biden with a big promise. Oh, and at the same time, that was the same presser where he was letting the world know that we will be having 100% of the country vaccinated if they would like by the end of May, which is so funny because that was the Operation Warp Speed President Trump plan from the beginning and everything that has taken place. And it was even Operation Warp Speed and the head of it in November of last year who told MSNBC that we would have 100% of the country vaccinated by the beginning of June. So no change there. But, you know, Joe Biden taking the credit because they're the geniuses and you're not.
Number 3.
They're able to positively identify that person as a suspect. And also we're able to place her at the scene with Cheeto residue all on her teeth and face. That Cheetos bag and water bottle were not theirs, and they think she probably dropped it trying to get out the window. I think we still would have got her without the Cheetos, but the Cheetos is what nailed the deal.
All right, there you go. For all of you that are looking to be in law enforcement and maybe into investigating in law enforcement, and maybe you're going to be somebody who might have to go undercover, Bring your Cheetos with you. That's right. There's the story that everybody's been talking about this morning. Nobody's been talking. Jake's been talking about it because we joked about it this morning. A woman tried to break into a house in Oklahoma. And last week, she dropped an empty bag of Cheetos. The cops tied her to the burglary because she still had Cheeto dust in her teeth when they found her. So maybe we have something new that, if you're FBI or you're an investigator there in the police department and maybe you're doing some undercover work, you bring a bag of Cheetos and then you could be the Cheeto guy as you infiltrate the mob or something like that and just feed everybody Cheetos and then you can just follow the Cheetos. I just thought it was a funny story. Moving on.
Number 2.
So I'll take the last part of your question first. There is an ongoing investigation into his death. I have to be careful at this age because it's ongoing not to get out in front of it. But I certainly understand and respect and appreciate the keen interest in what happened to him. After all, he was here protecting all of you. And as soon as there's information that we can appropriately share, we want to be able to do that. But at the moment, the investigation's still ongoing.
So does that mean, since the investigation is going on, you have not determined the exact cause of the death?
That means we can't yet disclose a cause of death at this stage.
But you have determined the cause of death.
I didn't say that. We're not at a point where we can disclose or confirm a cause of death.
How is this possible? FBI Director Wray at the Capitol yesterday being questioned by Chuck Grassley about why it is that Officer Swetnick, who we were told was killed by a fire extinguisher blow to the head by a Trump supporter for the longest time until the New York Times and others had to retract the story when they found out that that wasn't true. Christopher Wray can't tell us whether or not that is true or not and how he died. What are you hiding? What is Christopher Wray hiding? What else is Christopher Wray hiding from the FBI is what I'd like to know.
Number 1.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. President, members of the House and Senate, Supreme Court justices, and fellow citizens, I see in many parts of our country a sad state of affairs. Schools closed, businesses shuttered, and millions of lives destroyed. This calamitous reality is just the beginning of what will likely be long-term damage to children, to families, and to society. Sow the wind, and you reap the whirlwind. While so many other states kept locking people down over these many months, Florida lifted people up.
All right, there's a little portion of the governor's State of the State address yesterday from Tallahassee.
Drew's 5 at 8:35.
And some important messages for everybody as we start session. He talked about education and the environment and COVID and law enforcement, big tech. We're going to get into some of that audio and more detail on it tomorrow. Because there were some interesting aspects of it. By the way, here's what I love. This is how you know. You want to know how broken the Democrat Party is in the state of Florida? This is how broken they are. After the State of the State and the governor explaining everything and the successes that we've had, even with COVID, and the things that we've been able to do in the budget and even with education, and we'll get into some of the numbers coming up. Here's the Democrat response. Are you ready for this? I'm sorry, it's funny. This is the Democrat response. You ready? Here we go.
The agenda that's been set by the Florida legislature differs little from this governor, who consistently puts the interest of friends and family above the interests of the people he was elected to serve. It's a one-sided, big money game of winners and losers in which the people are not invited to play.
I'm just laughing because that's what the Democrats do. He's evil and awful, the evil Ron DeSantis and the evil members of the legislature. They're just out to kill you and your children and take away all your livelihood. They're awful. We need some dramatic music with that. Hold on a second. Here. This is better.
The agenda that's been set by the Florida legislature differs little from this governor, who consistently puts the interest of friends and family above the interests of the people he was elected to serve.
I'm sorry, it's just like a bad commercial, right? It's a bad political commercial. That's all it is. He wants to take away your children and lock them up in cages like Donald Trump did back in the... Okay, just shush. So there you go. There's the Democrat response. That's their response. They don't really have one. It's true. In the state of Florida, it's ugly for Democrats right now. I don't even know why you are a Democrat, even in the state of Florida. I mean, the positive things that we've been able to do in the state considering COVID. Look at what's happening with some, I would say for the time being, some brave governors from other states, Texas being one of them. This was a bold move yesterday.
So today, I'm issuing a new executive order that rescinds most of the earlier executive orders. Effective next Wednesday, all businesses of any type are allowed to open 100%. That includes any type of entity in Texas. Also, I am ending the statewide mask mandate.
Now, the good news is that that's the Governor Abbott of Texas who's opening businesses 100% starting next week and then taking out the mask mandate. The bad news is that he's the governor that shut down businesses there in the state and had a mask mandate when we didn't have any of that happening here in the state of Florida. And just a reminder that when it comes to COVID in Texas, they are where we were 5 months ago without the mandates and without the shutting of business. So that's a little bad part of it, but good for the governor for coming out and being able to address that. I think that's important. You're going to have bold governors that are going to say enough is enough. That's it. We're done. Enough is enough. Enough with the mandates. When you have the pundits on CNN going, hey, listen, you heard it just a couple of minutes ago. Let's make sure everybody understands.
Social distance every winter, we will see a dramatic reduction in flu.
Okay, wait, here it is again. What?
Flu strains to pick. But you're right. It's we mask and social distance every winter.
And we got to mask and social distance every winter. Who's up for that? Jake, you ready for that? Every winter, you're going to have to wear the mask. You're going to have to we're just going to do this. It's going to be a regular basis. We're going to do this.
How about no?
How about no? How about no? Part of the reason why we do our show from seed to table. How about no? Thank you very much. On Friday, Oaks Farm, seed to table, 6 to 9 a.m. Grab breakfast. Come hang out with us. We'll be there live. Maybe even Jake will show up this week. I don't know. A couple of other things that the governor said, man, I don't know if we have enough time to touch on all of this because I just wanted to make a point. And I look, here's the thing. I wanted to make this point in more detail, and I did it a little earlier. And if you want to watch it, drewsteele.com, and you can even go back later on in the morning if you want to hear this aspect of the governor's state of the state. Do not get me wrong when I say that I do and many others believe that the governor has done an amazing job here in the state. 2022 should be reelected. 2024 wants to run for governor, for president, somebody that's going to be a name that's going to be mentioned many times. If it's something that he wants to do, he's going to get a ton of support. There's no doubt about it. But I do have some questions about the choice of where he might go when it comes to the environment, maybe emergency powers and some things that he brought up. I don't have enough time this morning to talk about them specifically. Like I said, I did touch on them earlier, and I'll hit them tomorrow and get into this. But it's okay. I can't say this enough. It's okay to love the work the governor's been doing, to love what we've been able to do and accomplish here with his leadership in the state. But it's also okay to question some of the things that are happening when you feel like maybe not so much. Ask questions. It's okay. One of them was about the environment. I did have a question when he talked about proposing this Resilient Florida program. And his words under the Department of Environmental Protection through the initiative, Florida is going to invest $1 billion. Remember, it's your money, your tax dollars, into projects that help our communities adapt to the threats posed by flooding from intensified storms and sea level rise. Now, when I hear the words intensified storms and sea level rise, I hear climate change language. I hear man-made climate change environmentalist language. And then when I see $1 billion, I see my money going towards that. I have questions about that. The governor brought it up yesterday. I'm just asking. It's okay to do that. And when it comes to even big tech and the concerns of big tech and even what happened with COVID in the state and the concerns of executive powers. And I heard the governor mentioning, and I'll bring it up more tomorrow and we'll dig into this and get your comments about his concern about emergency powers at a local level where they have done mandates and the like, and we have to address this. I might also question the emergency powers of a governor here in the state that we still have because of the Patriot Act and some of the controls and emergency powers that not only this governor, but other governors have in their states. And to remember that DeSantis is not going to be the governor in this state forever, everybody. And one day there's going to be somebody in here that is not going to have your liberty and your freedom in mind. And one day they're going to use those emergency powers in ways that you can't even imagine when that next quote unquote crisis pops up. And I'm concerned about that. And so where he was talking about localities and emergency powers and mask mandates and the like, and I agree with him 100% on that, I also question at a state level some of the emergency powers that a governor has and how it would be used. And how I'm okay to limit that as well here in the state. And to make sure that we're not going to have an issue of a mask mandate coming up if something in 2022 happens that we don't want to think about when it comes to the governorship of the state of Florida. And then that individual who becomes the governor decides it's just like this guy said, hey, we got to mask up every winter. Got to do it. We got to keep the flu and we got to keep the vid at bay. The vid 2022, this new vid or new strain or whatever. And then what? You're going to have a governor who's going to decide to use emergency powers to tell the state that they have to mask up every winter. Do you see where I'm going with this? If it sounds crazy, it sounds like I'm talking out of turn, and there's no way that would happen. Yeah? You think so? I'm just asking. That's all. But it was a great state of the state, and I'll play some more audio tomorrow and get into these issues and then hear from you and your thoughts. All right. Once again, thank you for watching today. DrewSteele.com, the website. We always appreciate that. Thanks for listening. What are you laughing at? I don't even want to know what Jake's laughing at. He's laughing at something there. Here's your face. Go. There's your face. Laughing. I don't know what you're laughing at. You can go. Let the music go. Got people waiting. We got Matt Devitt is waiting. So thanks to everybody for watching. And don't forget, on Friday, again, Seat the Table is where we will be, 6 to 9 a.m. We're doing the show live and would love to see you there. Love to see you take part in the program, be involved and kind of hang out. Look, they open up an hour earlier. You got coffee, you got breakfast, and join us there on Friday at Oaks Farm Seat the Table at the corner of Livingston and Immokalee Road in Naples. All right, you ready? You're not ready? All right. It's Daybreak 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
This is 92.5 Fox News. You don't have to feel distant. Come join the conversation.
I just want to say I love America because everyone gets a voice.
This is 92.5 Fox News, right all along.
Pandemic, market drops, elections. Don't let the noise and fear